Today, I would drop it off at a voting center.
Yeah,
if you're in California.
Yeah, I use Dropboxes. Yeah. I haven't dropped it in the mail.
Well, there was
forever.
that one Dropbox that was tampered with. It was set on fire, and so a few ballots.
I remember that.
Yeah, no, this was like a couple of days ago. So yeah, so I don't. Drop it off at a voting center where there are actual people.
Especially today.
There are people there to take it from you and to take care of it.
Yeah, I mean you just give it to them sealed, signed, and all that stuff, and they will put it away for you. They will put it and then track it like I did because my ballot was accepted and will be counted today. So there you have it. I'm very happy about that. But yeah, get out and vote, please, everybody. It's so important. And I don't know. I mean, I know who I voted for. I voted for Becerra. And I voted for Bass because she's good Bass. All right. So Jimmy Kimmel.
And today, all of those texts will stop.
Oh, I don't get those.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you get them, Bella?
Yes, it's really annoying.
It is really annoying.
Like, I don't need to be reminded.
No.
But I get some people do need the push notifications.
Yeah,
some people like them, but I opt out every single time, and I still get them. It doesn't matter.
Nobody has my number. So I don't give that. I give out a different number for public stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I buy things online, it's not my cell phone. No way, never. I don't want them bothering me or selling the number. And that's what happens. Your number gets sold. So yeah, no, I don't. I never. My phone is just for personal stuff. Blech. I don't even use apps on my phone. I don't like Facebook and those things. I go through my browser. Okay. They don't need that.
All right.
Oh, So Jimmy Kimmel, who we heard earlier, who is so funny. He said he just won an award recently, but he said that he was being interviewed, and he said that the numbers regarding Colbert must be made up numbers, because there's no way that CBS was losing $40 million a year on a talk show.
Right.
And he said, look, why would they have offered him a multi-year contract in 2023 if he was losing that kind of money?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not the case.
Well, ads are just one way that a show earns network money. Now CBS is losing valuable promotional time. They can't put the stars of CSI or whatever on the Colbert Show anymore.
Right.
Now they have a brokered show in there that they have no control over.
And the thing that's different between this and most other normal programming is it's paid. It's his leased time. Byron Allen, is leasing the 11:30 to 12:30 time slot. So he is paying for. It's paid.
Yeah.
It's paid programming technically.
Right. It's an infomercial.
Yeah.
That is the model of an infomercial.
Absolutely. So I mean, whatever his ratings are won't matter because he's paying for it. It's irrelevant unless he says, you know what, it's not worth my money to do this.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he's paying. It's costing him millions of dollars to do this, and they think it's a great idea. So I guess from now on, they're just going to have paid programming, which nobody will watch because nobody's watching Alan's show, from what I gather.
No.
I mean, his first night for sure nobody was watching because everybody was still sad about Colbert. And plus, the other thing with that Jimmy Kimmel was talking about is like, look, there's the ratings while the show's being broadcast, but then you look on social media, people are resharing our stuff on YouTube and other places. So people are seeing it, and that's ad revenue coming to the shows as well. So there's no way. I mean, I like that because this is what it is. With the time buy model, CBS said, we have $15 million in profit, which is a $55 million swing. You didn't lose $40 million a year on Colbert. There's no way. There's no way. So I'm glad that Kimmel brought that up because it's obvious. Yeah. And Colbert will be fine.
Oh, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He's already fine.
And from what I gather, because Pete Dominic used to work for Colbert, and he said that people from the Colbert Report came over to do the Late Show with him. So a lot of these people have been working with Colbert for almost 30 years. Yeah. And so wherever he decides to land, if a lot of his crew still haven't found a new gig, he will bring them over. I'm 100% sure of it because he trusts them.
Right.
You want to bring people over that you trust because you know that they're going to write well for you and they're going to do their jobs as they can for you and how you like it done. And yeah, Pete Dominic said he was a lovely boss to work for.
I bet. Yeah, he seems like it.
Yeah, I've only heard. I mean, my mom's met him a few times. He's been very gracious when they had to cut out Kevin Spacey from my mom's special.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was the finale he was very prominent in it. And so Mom flew out to New York because a lot of the people that were in the finale were already in New York. And so Colbert gave them his stage and he played piano for them and did that.
That's amazing.
Which was really sweet of him to do, and he didn't have to do that. And he offered it. She didn't even call him. He offered it.
Okay.
Which was very nice of him to do. So I'm a big fan of his, just because. And I'm a big fan of Kimmel because he keeps my neighbor working, because my neighbor's one of his writers.
Nice.
Been his writer for like almost 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. He when I told him who my neighbor was, he goes, "Oh, I love him. I've known. He's the best. He's one of my favorites." I'm like, "That's sweet. That's nice to hear." So here's another CBS thing. This sentence I never thought I would utter. CBS may hire Joe Rogan for 60 Minutes.
Yep.
So there was a meeting with their new boss, who somebody in this room knows, and Scott Pelley made his disdain known for this, but apparently Joe. Okay, so Anderson Cooper, as we know, is leaving.
Right, he's left.
He's gone.
Yes,
Bye.
he's already said his goodbyes in a very dramatic way that didn't go over well with Barry Weiss.
Whatever. He's leaving. What does he care?
Yeah.
So they're thinking of hiring Rogan to replace Anderson Cooper, I guess.
Yeah.
And potentially Scott Pelley at this point. And what this Radar Online says, somebody in the industry said, this isn't stunt casting. Yes, it is. It's strategy.
It totally is.
It is, people. It's strategy. Rogan opens a direct pipeline to the massive MAGA audience CBS has struggled to reach for years. They're not going to watch 60 Minutes. These bro guys aren't going to watch 60 Minutes. It's not, even if Joe does his whole shtick on that. It's not.
60 Minutes at this point is a little too long for him for the attention spans today, I think.
I agree. And I mean, it's Joe Rogan is.
I mean, I appreciate long form reporting because it goes in depth and very complicated subjects. And the way 60 Minutes has always done it has been wonderful. Is there a market for it now? I don't know.
Well, I mean, since Barry Weiss took over, things have just fallen. There's so little that's going on over there that I would want to watch on 60 Minutes anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's the argument right now, is that what they've been doing hasn't been working in terms of ratings and in terms of actual viewership. It's just people rewatching it on streaming or on no one's watching it live.
Right.
And that's what they're trying
because nobody needs to.
Nobody needs to.
Yeah.
Right. But along with that, though, it's their demographic. But I think they're going after the wrong demographic. They're not targeting the people who would be interested anyway. They're trying to target a make-believe audience that, like you said, that wasn't going to watch it anyway.
Right.
So what's the point?
Right.
What's the point of trying to cater to them, too, if they don't care, if they've never cared?
And the other thing is why would Rogan, who makes bank doing
why would
his
he do
show,
that? Yeah.
and he controls himself on that show, why would he want to go work for somebody else?
I don't think he would. I don't think he would.
Because they're not going to offer him
because you have to
enough
put
money.
work into that job.
No,
Yes.
and these stories that are going out about them in the talks, whatever. It's these people. Like, they haven't even had a meeting with him yet. I'm sure, because I don't even think it's going to get to that point.
Yeah, I can't imagine Rogan would give, because in order for him to leave his current gig, they'd have to offer him a fortune. A fortune. And then it's only once, it's a 5-day week thing for him work-wise, but still it's not as many.
I don't think he'd leave Texas.
Yeah.
He makes people fly to his studio. He never does, interviews outside of his studio.
He would never move to New York.
No, he wouldn't.
No, I agree. No, he won't. I agree. He won't take the gig because they won't give him enough money for it. That's where my head goes, because he's making so much money. He is so well off. And on that weird note, it's 19 minutes after the hour. This portion potentially go after a woman who was sexually assaulted, and she's been adjudicated that way. He's an adjudicated rapist. So for them to go after her and not anybody that's in the Epstein files at this point, that's what's getting on my nerves.
Oh, it's vindictive prosecution, really.
Yeah.
It's assaulting her again. He's relentless, and it's disgusting. That's why it really makes me mad, especially the female people, the female MAGA. Right. It's like, it's Stockholm Syndrome. In order to be a female MAGA or Republican, really, you have to be a bigger misogynist than the regular old Republican men, and it's the truth. You have to be like Sarah Palin, shooting wolves from helicopters, having no compassion, You just have to be a horrible person. And you also have to think that straight white, straight acting, rich white men are the most persecuted minority. That's another thing. You have to ascribe to that fallacy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Did you read or Pam Bondi threw Todd Blanche under the bus last week? It was
in her deposition.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
She said that she told lawmakers on Friday that she, quote, delegated oversight of the release of the Epstein files to Todd Blanche. I had nothing to do with it. What? I find that funny because she didn't know who was going to be questioning her, apparently. That was kept from her, so she couldn't have a burn book with her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like she did last time. But the Dow's at $50,000. But yeah,
the Dow.
The Dow is up.
The Dow.
Why do you not care about the Dow? She said, to the best of my knowledge, the department produced everything required under the act, which is not true. We know that there's at least another 5 million documents potentially that have still not been released. I've heard a rumor that Thomas Massie is planning on reading the redacted names. Do you think that is something that he might do, or is he just toying with Donald until December?
I think he might. I was disappointed that Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't do it because she promised that she would, and it's a shame that she didn't. And I actually gave her some props when she was, it was hard to be on her side for a minute, but she really did step up there. But I was, I don't know why she didn't do it. Maybe she was afraid because according to her, what she's saying, she's getting death threats from Trump supporters, right? That they were threatening her son and things. So maybe she was afraid to do it. I guess Thomas Massie, he's already shown a lot of courage. And yeah, that's rare in the Republican Party. It really is true because they're not courageous at all because they all fall in line. That's why I say, they call themselves rugged individuals, but try being an individual in the Republican Party and they will kick you out.
Yeah.
So, right?
Absolutely.
Trans people are rugged individuals. So, they get, and what do? They eviscerate them. So,
yeah, they do. So with regard to Donald's slush fund.
Oh God! Which one?
Well, the one, the IRS slush fund, that one. Apparently, I know California's doing this. Some other, Colorado might be doing it. States are going to basically, anybody that was involved in J6, it's very specific, J6, that gets any money from this thing, potentially, if they get it, they're going to, the state, if they live in, say, Colorado, California, or wherever, they're going to tax it 100%, meaning your state, you will be 100% taxed in the state of wherever you are. Federally, it would be different, obviously. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. I have no problems with that at all. So it should make people be maybe more paused on perhaps going for this. And like we were saying earlier, when you're pardoned, and I learned this from Michael Cohen when he didn't accept his pardon, when you are pardoned, you're accepting guilt.
You're supposed to, right? Exactly.
You're accepting guilt in this manner. So therefore, even if they didn't plead guilty when they were at trial, like a lot of them did, they pled out. Others were put to trial and were convicted by a jury. Even if they didn't plead guilty, accepting that pardon means they have pled guilty.
Stephanie Miller. Stephanie Miller.
It is 25 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton, sitting in for Miss Miller, who's on vacation with the lovely Bella and the lovely Chris and Lonnie way over yonder.
Hi, Lonnie.
Let's see who we have here. Hi, Briha. Is that how I should pronounce your name in St. Paul?
It's Bria.
Bria, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I am a big fan of your mom's. I watched her growing up on the Carol Burnett show and on Mama's Family. So I'm so glad that I was able to talk to you today.
Me too.
And I have a suggestion for Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Because I know he goes on his summer hiatus here pretty soon, and he has a bunch of guest hosts coming on. They need to book Stephen Colbert. Trump would lose his ever-loving mind.
It's not a bad idea. That's actually a very good idea. He might just do it. It depends on if he's got a non-compete right now, what his contract was to get out of it. But yeah, if he can do it, I think they should.
Yeah.
It would drive him nuts. Oh, that's a fantastic idea. So, okay, I love Mayor Mamdani.
Oh
my God, he's the best.
This was amazing. Did you hear about this?
Well, let's see.
Okay.
It's so adorable.
Oh my God, I love this.
He has signed an executive order repealing bedtimes
Oh, yeah.
for kids during the duration of the Knicks playing in the championship NBA finals.
Adorable.
Like, come on.
That is adorable.
It's written as such. Whereas it is important for all New Yorkers of all ages to support the Knicks in their championship run, and whereas bedtimes should not impede the ability of New York's cutest to cheer for the Knicks and watch every second of this historic championship series. I love it.
I was thinking about that. I feel so bad for people on the East Coast who are watching the playoffs because the games are at 10 p.m. for them.
Oh my God!
That's
not
terrible.
even 9 p.m.
No, because they start at 7 p.m. here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's rough.
Oh my God! I mean, even football starts at 6 p.m.
And that's still
here, and that's 9 p.m. East Coast.
Yeah,
time.
all of our sports get done at a reasonable hour here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get the news, we get sports.
Yep.
Whatever.
Well, you can get East Coast feeds from things, so I mean, you can, do that too. But yeah, I mean, this was just the cute. He is so adorable that he did that. Were children around him?
Oh yeah, children were around him. Yeah,
that's so cute. I wonder if the mayor of San Antonio
and he was talking right to them. Not in a baby voice, but in a grown up but cute voice. It was really adorable.
Aw, that's so cute. See, we need more leaders that are adorable.
Yes.
And also know what they're doing. That's kind of
competent.
super. Yeah, that's really important.
Competent, actually putting things into play.
Yeah.
Doing things that make people happy.
Real ideas.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be neat? The good old days when we had competence.
Yeah.
Only a few years ago we had competence.
Yeah. Bella, have you voted?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I did.
Did you vote this before you went for a vacation, or just?
I did. I voted beforehand.
Okay.
I voted by mail. But yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about that too much.
No,
but I did. I put it in,
Yeah.
well ahead of time.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that's what you need to. I mean, a friend of mine is a poll worker.
Yeah.
And so he's been putting stuff up all week going, this is what to expect. This is what you should do. Da-da-da-da-da. It's too late to put it in the mail.
Yeah.
If you're going to show up and you want to vote at the voting center, we are taking your absentee.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of it. So those of you that are ridiculous trying to drive into California and vote, have fun in federal
They
prison.
should do it.
Have fun in prison.
should
Get
do
arrested.
Do it. Come on, guys.
Dare ya.
You do it. We double dog dare ya. It's 29 minutes after the hour. Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Hi, and welcome back. Just 964 days left to go in our countdown to liberty. Today, Donald Trump decided he's going to back off his anti-weaponization $1.776 billion potential slush fund for the January 6th insurrectionists after some rare pushback from Republicans, who, after all, were threatened on that day, along with Democrats. Meanwhile, little Pete Hegseth, remember Pete Petey and the Petey Gazette? Well, he's banned reporters from an entire room today in their offices, actually, inside the Pentagon, kind of like what Donald Trump did with the upper press area in the White House, further limiting the access that reporters have to people inside the administration to find out information that is much needed. So much for free press in the United States. Donald Trump has completely destroyed that, reducing us to, doing 1-minute recaps of what's going on inside the White House Yeah. It's always fun, isn't it? Anyway, and finally, in case you don't know, Donald Trump is going to make a MAGA rally for his picnic time on the 4th of July, since all the entertainers have said, screw you, Don, we're not coming. That and much more coming up tomorrow. Peace, love, and catch you next time.
Well, I tell you, I am rarely, if ever, more impressed by the actual product than what was shown in the ads, but that is 100% the case with my new Muddy Mat. Honestly, the online ads do not do this thing justice. When wet paws or muddy feet hit a Muddy Mat, the proprietary mud lock fibers grab the water and dirt instantly. I'm talking if a dripping wet, say 90-pound golden retriever walks in after a swim and the paws come off dry. Watch a video, you will swear it's edited. It's not. With all the dogs I used to mop every single day. Since putting Muddy Mats down, I haven't pulled a mop out in months. Muddy Mat has 50,000 reviews, 4.7 stars. It is the #1 dog mat on Amazon and the official anti-mud mat of the AKC. This is not a gimmick. Go to Amazon and search Muddy Mat. That's MUDDYMAT. If you're a Prime member, it shows up the same day in most metros. This is the single best home purchase I have made all year. I recommend you buy one for every door. Search Muddy Mat, MUDDYMAT, on Amazon right now.
Nobody believes everything that is in the Bible. The Bible clearly commands us to kill anyone who works more than 6 days a week. It bluntly forbids ever eating ham or wearing clothing made of mixed materials. It forbids divorce, but not polygamy. It forbids playing football, but doesn't forbid slavery. It forbids gathering sticks on a Saturday, but doesn't forbid genocide. It forbids eating shrimp, but doesn't forbid trading your 10-year-old child for a goat.
Naming government buildings after Trump acceptable right now as he is president of the United States of America. Just 9%. Just 9%. Literally, you can put it on your two hands. When you can put something on your two hands, you know it's a very small section of the public. My little footnote on here includes just 17% of Republicans. 50% say not acceptable at all, the clear plurality here. And then you get this additional 21% who say, you know what, it's okay to put President Trump's names on government buildings, but only after he leaves office.
And he continued to say that
Harry Enton.
This is Harry Enton, and it's 34 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I am Jody Hamilton, sitting in for Ms. Miller. 323-410-0458 is the number. So not only is only 9% are okay with this, but 10% of Americans believe that the Earth is flat.
Yep.
Which it's a globe. It is not flat. And 12% think that the moon landing was faked. So less people want his name on buildings than have issues with those two conspiracy theories.
Right.
I mean, so, dude, stop doing it. And he also Enton, not Anton, by the way, Stephanie, if you're listening.
Enton. Harry Enton.
It's Enton.
Enton, yes.
Trump, okay, so he supposedly got reelected because of inflation.
Mm-hmm. It was an issue.
Yeah. Trump on issues facing most American, focused enough? Just 29% say he's focused enough. 68% say no, he's not focused enough. So I love, he says, stop it, just stop it. He's quoting Michael Jordan. I love Harry Ensign so much. He makes me, and his accent kills me every time. Because it's so thick, and his isms. Wool, these people. I don't know why. No, he's fantastic. I adore him. Okay, so Donald had a pity party.
Yep.
As per usual. Okay, I was when I was reading this, I was like, this seems like old news because it's old lawsuits, but I guess they're still, he's already been tried and convicted of things, so he wants them thrown out? Is that what he wants?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. So he wrote in a midnight post on Truth Central, an innocent man who's been horribly treated. He demanded the criminal and civil cases against him be thrown out and prosecutors behind them be held criminally responsible for what he called terrible misdeeds. He wrote, okay, so he's talking about Michael Cohen, who's a while back said he was pressured by the prosecutors. Well, that's what prosecutors do when they want somebody to testify that's not necessarily a good person. They pressure you. I mean, that's not out of the ordinary. So he claimed that Cohen had effectively withdrawn his testimony. I don't think Cohen ever said he withdrew his testimony. Do you?
Think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. He, Donald wrote, when a star witness totally recants, which he didn't, and in every way reveals that he was pressured and wasn't coerced, to give testimony, and when the prosecutor admits that this witness was the single reason the case was brought, there was no other, how can the case not be immediately dismissed? Well, the case already, he means overturned, because the case already happened. That's why
he wants it overturned. He absolutely
does.
does.
Dismissed is different. That's during a trial.
He doesn't know law terms.
That's true. And now that his testimony is wiped away, which it isn't, and the un-American political charade cases are even further discredited, they should be put out of their misery and dismissed once and for all. Okay, he also demanded our Constitution and the rule of law. He said, that's funny, demand immediate and swift dismissal as well as for the perpetrators of the radical left lawfare and weaponization, oh my God, I'm so tired of those phrases, to be held criminally responsible for their terrible misdeeds. Okay, first off, grand jury brought the charges against you. Other juries then convicted you.
Right.
So therefore, unless the appeals court says that the jury would never have convicted you without Michael Cohen's testimony, which so far hasn't happened, okay, then it gets overturned. But at the moment, there was other testimony. There was other proof of what you did wrong, not just Michael Cohen. So, and the fact that he was pressured, that is not out of the ordinary at all. And coercion is different, but he never said he was coerced. He just said he was pressured. So, too bad. So sad for you. Have I told you how much I loathe Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Kash Patel's girlfriend.
We have a little bit of breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Trump has appointed a new director of national intelligence to replace Tulsi Gabbard. He's appointed the chairman of Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, Bill Pulte.
Why?
I have no idea.
He has no... I mean, at least Tulsi had some background.
Yeah, she sat on like some committees in the House
she had some background.
Yeah. But Bill Pulte, he's
a banker.
Yeah, he comes from the housing industry.
Yeah. Much like he sends his real estate guys to negotiate Iran nuclear deals. So I mean, you know, it tracks.
Yeah. So there you go. You know, he has to be approved by the Senate and all that. But
oh, come on, Bill Cassidy. Come on, you guys. Come on, you guys. Yeah. Come on, Tom Tillis. Come on, you guys. You can do it. So Kash Patel's girlfriend is suing MS Now's parent. Versant Media, I assume, and also two reporters, Ken Delanian and Carol Leonnig. She is suing them for publishing a hogwash story that implied that the singer was
hogwash.
Hogwash.
Who used the word hogwash?
Hooey, she says. Oh God. Yeah, it's in. I believe it's because they quoted it, so it's in the lawsuit, I guess.
Great.
And
that's a legal term, hogwash.
It's hooey, according to her. This is all hooey. That implied that the country singer was intoxicated and that one of her friends was so drunk that Patel ordered a security detail to take her home. Now, they never suggested in that article that she was the one that was intoxicated.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
They never said that. It's in the article. Yeah. They were told that one of her friends was inebriated and needed some help with her FBI detail.
Yep.
With her security detail. So here's a key section from the lawsuit. It reads, defendants falsely asserted that Ms. Wilkins demanded and Director Patel ordered that federal agents assigned to the security detail, which did not even exist at the time. I'm sure she's had security detail since she started dating Cash. Yeah. Escort an intoxicated friend home after a, quote, night of partying. They falsely portrayed Ms. Wilkins as being intoxicated, even knowing that she does not drink. Defendants presumed they could get away with this fiction by citing anonymous sources, disingenuously claiming non-public and inside knowledge. This is hogwash, and they knew it. That's in the complaint. It's hogwash. Oh, God. Boy, these lawyers, man.
Yeah.
So basically, she says she doesn't drink, and or if she does, it's rare, which is fine, But they never said she was drunk. They said one of her friends was drunk.
Yeah,
that's different, and it's in the article. So and MS Now is standing behind their reporters and behind the reporting. So I'm not concerned for them. It's just it's a BS. Having been related to somebody that successfully sued a libel suit.
Your mother's case. What
you have to study it in school.
I was taught your mother's case in communications law.
Yeah.
401.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the last classes I took to graduate.
And you have to take it. You have to take that class.
Yep.
You have to study that because it was a precedent-setting.
It absolutely was
case.
Yep. And what was the name of the case?
It's Carol Burnett v. National Enquirer, I believe.
Or parent company.
Yeah, whatever they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it.
So your mom is like named in the case, Burnett versus.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And she brought the lawsuit in 1974, and it didn't go to trial until 1981.
I remember when it went on trial.
We were living in Hawaii at the time.
Okay.
And because they wanted to settle for years. Sure. Because they always did.
Because that's what they did. That's what they do.
I mean, Burt Reynolds used to joke, "Hey, I made a fortune suing them. They sue, I settle, I have money." You know, but my mom was determined. She's like, no, I wasn't going to settle. I didn't want my kids to read this. And she was on the stand. She was very good on the stand. Mm-hmm. And she sued for $10 million. She was awarded $2, I believe. And after appeals, got $200,000 or something.
Yeah, it was Burnett versus National Enquirer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but yeah, she ended up getting $200,000, which she donated at the time. She was a Jonas Salk. She donated to his foundations for cancer research. But she donated what she was first awarded, and then the $200,000 came to her.
Okay.
But no, I mean, she went in. Like I said, Henry Kissinger was deposed. Because what the story was, my mom and my dad were in D.C. And they were eating at a restaurant called the Rive Gauche.
Okay.
And so was Henry Kissinger and a bunch of other people, obviously.
Yeah.
And somebody from the Enquirer called and talked to the maitre d' and said, "Who's eating there tonight?" And he said who was famous that was eating there.
Kissinger, Burnett.
Yeah, and whoever else was there. But I know Kissinger was deposed. And so he hung up. The story was Carol Burnett was drunk and boisterous at the Rive Gauche restaurant I'm paraphrasing, in Washington, D.C., was eating food off of other patrons' plates and threw wine in Henry Kissinger's face. The only thing that was true is that they were both at the restaurant.
Yeah.
That was it. And so they tried to sue.
So you have a room full of witnesses. Yeah. That's insane that they would go with something like that.
Well, they did it all the time.
Yeah.
And so what happened was, when she sued, she was obviously livid about it.
Yeah.
And they, and Henry Kissinger he was deposed. Thankfully, the only one of the few good things he ever did, because warmonger and war criminal. Other than that, but no, I mean, it was good that she won, and I'm glad that she went all the way to get it to court, so that, because the Enquirer was saying that they were a newspaper, but they are a magazine. And they're like, oh, we didn't really have time to check sources. It's like, you're a magazine.
Sure.
And even if you're a newspaper, you don't just say that and hang up the phone.
They publish weekly. They don't publish daily.
It's a magazine.
Right.
Yeah.
They have time to.
More than enough time to check things. And so that's part of the reason she won the case. But even a newspaper, even if it's a daily, you don't just say who's at the restaurant and make up a story.
No, you get another source.
What's going on?
Right.
Hey, is everybody getting along? You start asking questions.
Sure. You get the story.
You get that there was no story, and so they just made it up, and that's why she won, obviously, because they lied. I mean, that's libel, pure and simple.
Yeah.
And it's hard to prove libel when you are somebody who is not a private citizen, when you are famous.
This article that I'm reading here, that it said because Burnett was an active campaigner against alcoholism due to her parents' struggles with alcoholism, she felt the piece severely undermined her credibility.
Absolutely.
And that's the line above the normal line of celebrity libel, I think.
Well, I mean, just lying about it in general.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with celebrities, the bar is a little higher for libel.
It is, but I mean, that was just
But that was so egregious.
That was blatant.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's why she won.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, somebody like in the neighborhood that they write a piece on and they're not famous, they have a lower bar to prove libel or slander. Right. And slander is spoken word and libel is written word, for those of you that don't know the difference. So that's why. And them saying they were a magazine, they're like, a newspaper. You are not. You are a weekly.
Yeah.
I mean, they still had Bat Boy going on then. And
that was Weekly World News.
Didn't the Globe also do that too?
No. There back then there were like different tiers, like
Star Magazine too.
The National Enquirer was the gold standard of celebrity gossip.
Yeah. Of awfulness.
I hate saying that, but they were the gold standard.
They were the gold standard.
The Globe was a lot trashier. Star, they were very celebrity focused, and then Weekly World News was just made up stuff.
Well, that's for the Men in Black, so that they know where the aliens are.
Yeah. Weekly World News, they're the ones who invented Bat Boy.
I remember seeing that when I was a kid. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a striking image at the checkout stand.
It was. It was very frightening, too.
Yeah.
It really was. All right. It's 47 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show.
How are you?
I am well indeed as well. So the reason that I played that was because you wrote a piece on this weaponization stuff and how the real weaponization started back in the 90s. And you had my favorite new word, Semite. It's my new favorite word. I like it.
You know, but we always have to explain which C I'm talking about.
See you next Tuesday one.
Yes, exactly. The lady part.
The lady part might. But yeah, I mean, your piece, for those like poor Bella who wasn't around in the 90s, what Newt Gingrich and company did to the Clintons was insane. And the people that were busted, as you write, didn't attack Capitol Police or anybody. You know, it was just a real estate problem. So I mean, you know, this fund is disgusting.
Yeah. So what happened in the 90s was that the Republican Congress, when Newt Gingrich, you know, and the Republican Revolution that he led happened in 94, and so the Congress comes in 95. Bill Clinton had been elected in 92, so it was just halfway through his first term, and they turn every mechanism that they had against the Clintons. They won both houses of Congress, and they just decided to investigate, and you know, as I say, the Clintons couldn't, you know, fart too loudly without Congress launching some kind of investigation. And part of that investigation was to call, and it wasn't just them, it was also Ken Starr and the special counsel's office, which at the time was supposed to be looking into this weird little failed real estate deal in Arkansas, but that kept snowballing and getting bigger. So they would call in everybody even tangentially related to whatever issue, and they always put a gate at the end of it, because part of this was also revenge for Nixon and Watergate.
Right.
Not to get too far into the I'm an old man weeds here. But you know, there was Travelgate, and you can look this stuff up, Filegate, and all this stuff. And so they would call in every staffer and force them to go under oath. And so they would need lawyers. All of these people would need lawyers. And so it ended up causing huge financial burdens on people who were low-level members of the administration, weren't well paid, and ruined some people. And Republicans knew what they were doing.
Yes, they absolutely
did. They
were
trying to intimidate the administration. And you know, one reason the Clintons, not one reason, but a big reason the Clintons went after so much cash so quickly was because of all the legal bills that were that were caused by the Republicans. That's and then, by the way, nobody ever got convicted of anything except two people in that original land deal.
Right.
and for something relatively minor that ended up destroying their lives, but nobody was ever convicted. That's lawfare.
Yeah.
That's weaponization.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you heard, I assume, that Allison Gill has filed an $8.647 million lawsuit, which I love the numbering of it all. Hi, free speech people. It is Fund Drive.
It is.
It's okay. So we're in the middle of an important election year.
Yep.
A lot of people are voting today.
Yes.
And this November, every vote will matter. But every election cycle, we see the same playbook: confusion, misinformation, distraction, and efforts to make everyday people feel powerless or checked out before they even get to the voting booth. That's why independent media matters. One screen can inspire action, inform communities, and motivate people to participate in democracy. But that screen only stays on with your support.
That's right. We depend on you.
Yes. Call 877-378-8669 or visit freespeech.org/donate. Thank you, and please and thank you.
Well, how are you?
I am well indeed as well. So the reason that I played that was because you wrote a piece on this weaponization stuff and how the real weaponization started back in the 90s. And you had my favorite new word, Semite. It's my new favorite word. I like it.
But we always have to explain which C I'm talking about.
The See You Next Tuesday one.
Yes, exactly. The lady part.
The lady part might. But yeah, I mean, your piece, for those like poor Bella who wasn't around in the 90s, what Newt Gingrich and company did to the Clintons was insane. And the people that were busted, as you write, didn't attack Capitol Police or anybody. It was just a real estate problem. So I mean, this fund is disgusting.
Yeah. So what happened in the 90s was that the Republican Congress, when Newt Gingrich, and the Republican Revolution that he led happened in 94, and so the Congress comes in 95. Bill Clinton had been elected in 92, so it was just halfway through his first term, and they turn every mechanism that they had against the Clintons. They won both houses of Congress.
Stephanie Miller.
It is 53 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Ms. Miller, and Richard Chu from WCPT.
Hey, Richard.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I just wanted to say you're doing a fantastic job, as always.
Thank you.
And big smiles on my face with some of your historicals about the case of your mom, because I remember it when I was studying law and all back in the day. So, yeah, it was a landmark case, and precedent was definitely, it's given standing to so many people now when it comes to both libel and slander.
Yeah.
Speaking of slander, I'm waiting for some the Tallarico camp to drop the hammer on Stephen Miller for what he said about James Tallarico, because that gets pretty close particularly on the libel side. I mean,
in some circles that is libelous. In progressive circles, it's not no big deal to be called
right.
But in some circles, yes, it is libelous or slanderous.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other side of that, though, guys, is what's wrong with being gay or being trans? That's the part that we all support.
Right.
So that's the part where the joke or the comment is meaningless. But to say that about someone just goes to show that they have nothing else to go after on Tallarico other than to try to speak to his personhood. So
absolutely.
I'm waiting to see if they're going to drop the hammer on that.
Well, we'll see.
But anyhow, you guys are doing great.
Thank you, Richard.
And Todd Starnes on Newsmax this morning suggested that Tallarico wears, quote, frilly underpants.
Well, they're comfortable.
So what? And what?
Right.
What? Who cares?
But in some circles, that is...
Yeah, right. Of course.
Whatever.
Slander. Libel.
Whatever. Yeah. Karen in Chicago, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh. I tell you what, this has been, I don't know why, it's been a really rough week, for me. It's just, there's a lot going on. But I have to say, Trump in his disappointment to replace Tulsi Gabbard, of course he would get somebody who is completely unqualified. He is unqualified. And I just hope that during the confirmation hearings, every single Democrat opens up with, what do you think your qualifications are to do this job?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it is ridiculous. Good luck to you guys in California today.
Thank you.
By the way. And I just, we have got to get this back in November, and we have got to start. I mean, Democrats need to be, we are not moving on for the good of the country. We are going to hold every single one of these MFers accountable.
Absolutely. No, that's the first thing we need to, we can't be Gerald Ford about this. We just can't. The long nightmare is over. No, had he not pardoned Nixon, I think we wouldn't be here right now, because Nixon would have been tried and probably convicted, most likely convicted for his crimes. So what I understand it from that point of view, but hindsight now, it's like, I don't think Gerald Ford would agree with his statement were he with us still anymore. I think that he would be like, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's just, and that's it. That's why we have Donald is because
Gerald Ford was a little feckless anyway.
He was.
I was having a discussion with my friend Jordan about this the other day. He's like, and I'm like, there was a big buildup to the bicentennial in 1976, even though Ford was feckless.
Well, he didn't make it about himself.
No, he didn't make it about himself. It seemed like the patriotism in the country in 1976 came from the people.
It did.
And this year, it seems like it's being forced upon the people by the president.
Right. Who the founding fathers would disagree with.
Right, exactly.
Everything that he's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, Ford, he was an unelected vice president because he was appointed.
That's right. And he lost his reelection to Jimmy Carter.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no way he was going to win after pardoning Nixon. Yeah. And we didn't want any more Republicans around.
At that, yes. The nation had gone through a major trauma at that point. And
absolutely.
Didn't want anything to do with Republicans.
And luckily, the Vietnam War was over at the time, so Democrats weren't as bad anymore. And Carter was just such a good human.
Yeah.
He really, really was.
He was. He
wasn't the best president.
He wasn't the best president.
But
his post-president life was amazing.
And he had a lot after Watergate, plus the oil crisis, plus everything that he had really nothing to do with, being foisted upon him. He asked for it. I mean, he did ask for the job.
Yeah.
It's just, he was a good guy.
Yeah.
He gave up a peanut farm. Donald won't give up insider trading.
That's right.
It's 58 minutes after the hour. Mike Nellis coming up next on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Well, I tell you, I am rarely, if ever, more impressed by the actual product than what was shown in the ads, but that is 100% the case with my new Muddy Mat. Honestly, the online ads do not do this thing justice. When wet paws or muddy feet hit a Muddy Mat, the proprietary mud lock fibers grab the water and dirt instantly. I'm talking if a dripping wet, say 90-pound golden retriever walks in after a swim and the paws come off dry. Watch a video, you will swear it's edited. It's not. With all the dogs I used to mop every single day. Since putting Muddy Mats down, I haven't pulled a mop out in months. Muddy Mat has 50,000 reviews, 4.7 stars. It is the #1 dog mat on Amazon and the official anti-mud mat of the AKC. This is not a gimmick. Go to Amazon and search Muddy Mat. That's MUDDYMAT. If you're a Prime member, it shows up the same day in most metros. This is the single best home purchase I have made all year. I recommend you buy one for every door. Search Muddy Mat, MUDDYMAT, on Amazon right now.
Holy shit. Can we please talk about the fact that Donald Trump is out of his mind? No, seriously. Friends, what in the hot bronzed hell? Because while the rest of us were out here doing normal people shit, the so-called leader of the free world, the commander-in-chief, the supposed steward of this little democratic experiment of ours, spent the entire weekend careening into the abyss online. 52 posts in 6 hours. 52 in 6 hours. A movie poster meme casting himself as some legendary military commander, memes of himself wiping his nose with the American flag, his face on a peace medal, one absolutely unhinged airplanes coming out of his butt situation, just relentless, needy, neon-lit narcissist theater from a 79-year-old president, publicly unraveling, while the rest of us were out here living actual life. And listen, I am not a psychiatrist, I am not a therapist, hell, I'm a mom, and I'm not even an expert on my own kids, but I do know some. I know when my orchid shrivels into a beef jerky shoelace, it's dead. I know when my Kia starts coughing and making expensive noises, it needs to go to the shop. I know chunky milk means don't drink it. And I know when somebody is visibly, publicly behaving like they are in an escalating argument with reality. Because this is not normal. This is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, loco en la cabeza, several French fries short of a Happy Meal. The kind of one flew over the cuckoo's nest crazy where the word crazy itself checks the schedule, sees what's happening, quietly backs out of the room and mutters, absolutely the fuck not. This is above my pay grade, bro. Forget politics. If somebody in your own life spent an entire weekend behaving like this, grandiose fantasies, bizarre symbolism, compulsive look-at-me behavior, flooding the internet while major responsibilities piled up around them, you'd be concerned. Deeply concerned. You'd probably text somebody. You'd say, hey, are you seeing this? Except this isn't your weird uncle unraveling in public. This is the President of the United States of America. Wars, intelligence briefings, markets, public health, immigration, diplomacy, actual consequential shit. And if Joe Biden had spent one weekend doing even 10% of this, Republicans would be foaming at the mouth before breakfast demanding hearings, impeachment, and cognitive evaluations. Instead, we're all just somehow supposed to stare directly at this and pretend it's not insane. Donald Trump is out of his motherfucking mind, and Republicans want us to pretend that this shit is normal. This is not normal, and it is not okay.
Well, turning 65 should be a milestone, right? Not a maze. But for most people, that's exactly what Medicare feels like. Robocalls, mailers, fine print nobody can decode. With this much confusion, it's no wonder that millions of Americans have found themselves with coverage that misses the mark. That is where Chapter comes in, the only Medicare advisor that compares every Medicare plan nationwide. Their advisors are independent and honest. They actually advocate for you. They look at your doctors, your prescriptions, your life. And if you're already on the best plan, they'll tell you straight out. Just last year, seniors who found new plans with Chapter saved an average of $1,100 on healthcare costs. One free call, under 20 minutes. Call 804-CHAPTER. That's 804-CHAPTER, 804-CHAPTER today.
Hi, and welcome back. Just 964 days left to go in our countdown to liberty. Today, Donald Trump decided he's going to back off his anti-weaponization $1.776 billion potential slush fund for the January 6th insurrectionists after some rare pushback from Republicans, who, after all, were threatened on that day, along with Democrats. Meanwhile, Pete Hegseth, little Pete Hegseth, remember Pete Petey and the Petey Gazette? Well, he's banned reporters from an entire room today in their offices, actually, inside the Pentagon, kind of like what Donald Trump did with the upper press area in the White House, further limiting the access that reporters have to people inside the administration to find out information that is much needed. So much for free press in the United States. Donald Trump has completely destroyed that, reducing us to, I don't know, doing 1-minute recaps of what's going on inside the White House. Yeah. It's always fun, isn't it? Anyway, and finally, in case you don't know, Donald Trump is going to make a MAGA rally for his picnic time on the 4th of July, since all the entertainers have said, screw you, Don, we're not coming. That and much more coming up tomorrow. Peace, love, and catch you next time.
Nobody believes everything that is in the Bible. The Bible clearly commands us to kill anyone who works more than 6 days a week. It bluntly forbids ever eating ham or wearing clothing made of mixed materials. It forbids divorce, but not polygamy. It forbids playing football, but doesn't forbid slavery. It forbids gathering sticks on a Saturday, but doesn't forbid genocide. It forbids eating shrimp, but doesn't forbid trading your 10-year-old child for a goat.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
The only well-known artists who did not back out were Flo Rida and Vanilla Ice, who now need to find another way to make $80 that night. And to make this all even crazier, Vanilla and Flo Rida, along with many of the performers who were originally announced, and that includes Morris Day, Young MC, and the aforementioned Milli Vanilli, are represented by the Universal Attractions Agency, which is an agency owned by a man who was unfortunate enough to be named, and everyone please relax when I say this, Jeff Epstein is the guy's name. Okay? This poor bastard. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm not a conspiracy guy, but what if Jeffrey Epstein didn't die and instead chose a fate worse than death, which was being Vanilla Ice's booking agent? Think about it.
Jimmy Kimmel, it is 7 minutes after the hour here on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Ms. Miller, and look who we have here.
Here comes Mike Nellis, Chicago Tough.
That's right.
Because now, Mike Nellis gets it done.
Nellis gets it done.
I've become kind of a weird, stalky fan. Like I read everything you write.
Nellis gets it done. Nellis gets it done. Now, Nellis gets it done.
You get it done, man.
Uh-huh.
You definitely do.
This is a true story. I'm in D.C. right now, and I had someone shout this at me on the street.
Yeah!
No way.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Our evil plot
It was
worked.
bad. It was bad. I was like triggered. I was like a Vietnam era flashback kind of situation.
Hey, man, sorry. There will be shirts soon, so you're just going to have to deal with it.
If I don't get a cut of the merchandise, you're going to hear from my lawyer.
Yes.
We'll let Ms. Miller know.
Yeah.
Hi. You wrote a very interesting piece on AI and AI propaganda that I agree with. I mean, it started without AI, the propaganda and the misinformation, but explain to everybody what your thoughts are on, especially the Kentucky race, because I agree. He should have been reelected. I don't agree with anything other than a couple of things that he's done in Congress. Massey. Yeah. But the fact that he has some integrity, and he voted with Donald more often than not anyway, and he still got ousted. I don't get it.
Well, it's two-part, right? It's the way that he got ousted and the reason he got ousted, right? I'll start with the reason, which is he stood up to Donald Trump on the Epstein files. He stood up to Trump on the war in Iran. He stood up to him on the debt and the deficit, not ballooning it with these billionaire tax cuts last summer, and that's admirable, right? And here's the thing about Massey is, like, you lock him and I in a room, we're not going to agree on much. But what I can admire about a guy is you run for office, you say you believe in these things, you get to Washington, your party betrays you, and you stand up for that anyway and do what you said you were going to do. Let's compare that to like a John Fetterman, because I get these debates with these guys. Fetterman campaigned as a progressive, said he was going to do X, Y, and Z. Now he's basically just a part of the Republican Party, and they use him like a useful idiot, basically, to try to make us look bad on Fox News all the time. That's different. If Thomas Massey started going on MS Now and embarrassing the president of the United States, that would be one thing. In this case, his final ground was, I'm not going to stand up and let you cover up for pedos. That's number one. On the way that he lost, which we can talk about the money that was spent, $35 million and all that, but the AI-generated video that they did, where they made it look like Thomas Massey and Ilhan Omar and AOC were having a threesome in a hotel. is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And there's no problem in American politics today that's new, quote unquote.
Right.
It's just that the way that the laws are being abused are so worse, and the advancement of technology is making it dramatically worse. If we don't have Congress start to regulate AI, it's going to go from like silly stunts and funny memes and, you know, like the Spencer Pratt stuff, which like, whatever, it's fine. But we're going to get into a place where people can't tell the basic truth of what's going on.
Right.
And there are people in Kentucky's 4th Congressional District who I think literally believe that Thomas Massie was cheating on his wife with AOC and Ilhan Omar because there are hyper-realistic images in that ad. It's got to stop. Like we can't have a democracy that functions that way.
How do we stop it?
Yeah, I mean, like I've always questioned with ads regarding politics, because truth in advertising is important, and a lot of these ads are not truthful. So therefore, shouldn't they be taken down?
In theory, the problem is like who becomes the barometer of truth, right? Now you've got to appoint some kind of commission. Like there are countries that have things like that. I think Canada has some version of that. It's a double-edged sword because I don't think you can just ban the technology in politics, because what'll happen is a good faith actor like the Democrats will follow the rules, a bad faith actor like the Republicans will not, and they'll wait for the chips to fall where they may. And we know that Republicans love to break the rules now, hoping that they never get in trouble later or that they just get a slap on the wrist, which is the biggest problem with their campaign finance laws now. But you need to make the tech companies responsible for this stuff. That's what it's got to be. Everything in Silicon Valley, everything with social media companies, with tech companies, Palantir, AI, what have you, it's all self-regulation at this point.
Right.
They have bought the politicians in Washington. They're disinterested in doing anything. And we already have a very obvious case study of how dangerous self-regulation with the tech world can be, because look at social media. Over the last 20 years of American society, just focus it in on our kids for a second. What they're doing to our kids to create anxiety and suicidal ideation and depression, gross. And Meta and these other companies, they know exactly what they're doing. They're basically drug dealers at this point. They don't want to be regulated. You know, I think we all remember that hearing with Mark Zuckerberg where he had to listen to all of the parents who had lost their kids in one way or another. And that's disturbing. Now imagine that on steroids with AI, wiping out jobs all across this country, polluting our democracy, just adding another new element of a cascade of problems that we have in this nation, because we're just so distanced from ourselves, we're distanced from our communities, and we're distanced from our elected officials.
Well, I read something that Meta's AI that's supposed to help you helped some hackers hack into people's Instagram accounts.
Yes, I just read that this morning.
The other day. And that seemed, they said they fixed the problem. Luckily, I'm not famous enough. Plus, mine's only just cat pictures. But that's frightening. That's Meta's it's supposed to help you with their social media, but it helped hackers hack.
And what sucks right now is that Meta is throwing a whole lot of money at different candidates, wanting to gain their favor, and to stop regulation against this sort of thing.
I mean, they're begging to be regulated, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, they're begging to be regulated, but it actually just goes to show you that they know that they won't.
Right.
Because they know that they control far too many people in Washington D.C. for that to ever happen. Like, that's just the bottom line. And it is a tremendous problem right now. And I think the average American is trying to figure out what this new technology, in particular for AI, means for their careers. Because if you're somebody, like, look, all these kids who are booing the commencement speakers that are bringing up AI all around the country, and the way that the conservative movement is being like, oh, these kids are whiners and they don't want to use technology. It's like, no, they're happy to use the technology, but they don't want to be led by the technology.
Right.
They don't want their jobs and their careers be eliminated. I did a Newsmax hit last week or the week before where they asked me about them booing, and I was like, look, I'd be angry too.
Yeah.
These kids are entering, and they're not kids, by the way. They're 22-year-old adults, okay? They did everything they were supposed to do that was right. They went to college. They did their homework. They took out student loans, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. Now they're in massive debt. They're entering the worst job market that we've seen since the 2008 financial crisis, which is when I was in college, and it's an absolute disaster for them. So, of course, they're going to boo when some, like, wealthy tech billionaire gets up there and goes, you should embrace it. It's amazing. Like, it can be amazing. There's plenty of times I've used ChatGPT or Claude or some other tool, and like I've enjoyed the outputs from it. You can find value in it, but it's got to be implemented and have guardrails on it that protect people. And the tech companies have to be well regulated because they're very open. If you listen to Elon Musk and Bezos and Peter Thiel, they talk about eliminating human labor from their businesses all the time. What do they think is going to happen when unemployment in this country is 50%?
Yeah, nobody's going to buy their products.
Nobody's going to buy their products, and there's going to be even. You think the world isn't stable now?
Yeah.
Imagine if 40% of young men don't have jobs.
Yeah.
Not great. historically not a great thing.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, oh, by the way, you posted about this. Happy Pride, everybody. I
That's
forgot
right.
to say that yesterday. Happy
Yeah.
Pride. And I love what you're talking about with Graham Plattner right now. Ken Paxton probably, at least Graham Plattner isn't a vegan.
You know what? That tweet did not take off, but it got a laugh from my
funny.
wife.
It's
It got a laugh from me.
It's
One
funny.
person.
It's
Yeah.
funny. And I like that you also wrote, my wife has no idea who Graham Plattner or Ken Paxton are, and I'm so jealous of her. I'm with you on that one. I am jealous of your wife as well.
I mean, I married a civilian. She was a school teacher when we met. Now she's a school administrator. Like, she's a wonderful human being, but like, she has no idea. We come home at the end of the day, and she'll be like, "What happened today?" And I'm like, Graham Plattner is texting up to 6 women on a website I've never heard of before, and Ken Paxton's protecting child sex predators." And she's like, "Who are those two people?"
Oh, to be so
blissfully unaware.
Blissfully, exactly. To be that. I mean, and the thing with Plattner that I found interesting was his wife went out there, not him initially, and corroborated what the leaked story was. And then he comes out and says it's just rumor and gossip. And it's like, did you just throw your wife under the bus for corroborating? I mean, it seems like not the right play on his part. What do you think?
Well, I think that was taken out of context, and he clarified that piece
Okay.
of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a chaotic situation. I don't know that there's a right way or a wrong way to handle it.
Right.
What I do know is, like, and I have kind of a nuanced take on Plattner, so I find that the pro-Plattner community is mad at me and the anti-Plattner community is mad at me, which probably means I'm
You're
onto
doing the
something.
right thing then.
Exactly. It's just like, look, I want Graham Plattner, if he's going to be the nominee and there's a week left, I can't imagine that Janet Mills gets in and this changes. Like, I want him to beat Susan Collins.
Yeah.
And my view of this, I don't know the quality of Graham Plattner's character. I don't know the man. What I do know about him, I don't particularly like, and I do have a problem with accidental Nazi tattoo, the lying about it, the cheating on your wife potentially here, and like, fine. But what I do know is Susan Collins has been in Congress since I was 6 years old, has no major legislative accomplishments to talk about, and ask the people of Maine. Since 1996, that's how long she's been in the United States Senate. Is your life better off than it was in the mid-90s? The answer is probably no for the vast majority of people. She voted to save Brett Kavanaugh. She will vote to allow Donald Trump to control our judiciary. I'd rather take a flawed Democrat and deal with the consequences of that, provided that it doesn't get dramatically worse here. Like, if we find out that Plattner did something that was non-consensual with somebody else,
Sure.
Right.
that's a problem. Then he goes in the category of Swalwell, get him out of my party.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
This particular story is between him and his wife. They can make that decision. It doesn't make me particularly love the guy, but in this instance, you know, and I'm certainly not going to be lectured, by the way, by the party of Donald Trump
Yes.
and the party of Ken Paxton. And I'll add two stories that are just very underreported in the last couple weeks. But Max Miller, who's a Republican congressman from Ohio, was accused by his ex-wife of beating her in front of their kids, throwing a pot boiling water. And the point that I make about this all the time is she's the daughter of Senator Bernie Moreno. If you are the daughter of a powerful Republican senator, you are still not safe from these people.
Right.
And then Ron Fournier, who is the head of students for Trump and a very close Trump ally and very close to Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk, RIP, he was arrested for the second time for domestic abuse. I don't see any Republicans talking about that. I want zero lecturing from them. We'll police our people, you police your people, period.
No, I'm with you. Any Republican that goes after Plattner right now, come on. You know.
And the thing I like about Plattner, yes, he absolutely has problems. However, when he speaks directly to the people of Maine, his ideas and the things he says make so much sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the people of Maine are still sticking with him, because as a candidate, you know, in the issues, he's great.
Well, I think it's like, look, I would frame it. This is the same thing as Trump to me. It's like, if the system and our institutions were functioning and you were like, this works for me by and large, I might be unhappy, but it still works, I buy into it, then you're going to start to care about character. You're going to care about whether or not they're cheating on their wife, et cetera. And again, I'm not justifying those things, all right? To me, a real man doesn't cheat on their wife. To me, a real man does not ever put their hands on a woman, period. Does not, engage with, protecting child sex predators like Trump and Ken Paxton certainly have. But it is, you're going to make a decision that's best for you. And for Plattner, he has good economic messaging. He seems real to the people of Maine. Maine is not a hugely populous state. So by the time this race is over, every Mainer is going to have met the guy 2 or 3 times, looked him in the eye, which none of us have done as far as I know. I've never met the guy. I don't know him personally. So they're going to make that determination. And again, it's so far as there's not more things out there that cross that line. And that line for me is going to be like consent, violence, that kind of thing. Once I hit that line, then it's like, forget it. And I'm not involved in this race at all, by the way. I want nothing to do with it. I'm going to go focus on getting Peggy Flanagan elected to the Senate of Minnesota.
There you go.
Enough about Peggy Flanagan, in my opinion. She's fantastic. We're spending way too much time on Graham Plattner, but I want him to win over Susan Collins. She sucks. That's the bottom line.
She does. You're absolutely correct, sir. And thank you so much for being on with me. And you will be back with Ms. Miller next week.
That's correct.
And I will be sitting in for young Chris Lavoie. So I will see you again next week. All right.
See you next week.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Mike.
It is 20 minutes after the hour. Let's talk about James Tallarico and Ken Paxton. Because I know you have some thoughts on them. And it's just, he is so awful. I can't believe that he got the nomination because, like we said earlier, it was an open primary. So a lot of Democrats went to the runoffs to say, do him because most likely he's going to lose. Because I think had it been a closed primary, Cornyn might have squeaked it out.
Right. But this is good news for us because Paxton is a crook, and his own party knows that. They impeached him, as everybody knows. He is a very disgusting person, and they're, in Tallarico, they are really afraid of Tallarico because he's a real Christian, and he's a real servant of the people, and there's a record to prove that. So that Republicans have nothing. If you saw Paxton's acceptance speech, it was just like he had his own burn book.
Yeah.
What's her name? Bondi, right?
Pam Bondi, yeah.
And it's he's Talafrico. He's a vegan. Like, who cares?
Exactly.
Does this put food on people's table?
Right.
Does this put gas in your car? Does this unify this country? Absolutely not. That's what also makes me sick because they beat up trans people, and trans people show more courage getting out of bed in the morning than all of the entire Republican Party could ever muster in 1,000 lifetimes. That's for sure. And they still live their lives in the hostile environment that they're creating. And this too shall pass. When the future looks back on this time, the Republicans are not going to come out looking well.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, they're going to look disgusting. Just like when we look back on the 20th century fascists that they admire so much, same thing. People are going to be appalled because one day being trans is it's not going to matter.
Right.
Who cares? Some people are born, your brain, your gender identity is not in your pee-pee, it's in your brain.
Right.
And if all the chemical reaction, it makes sense that sometimes things don't quite match. We need help in this life. I always say thank God we have glasses. I wouldn't be able to see. What if we came out, it's the same thing with trans people. So it's really dehumanizing for all of us. It's not just trans people because I think they hurt the entire society with this horrible, we're all suffering from some form of PTSD, I believe, the whole country. And it gets worse with the Republicans. The more this maladministration goes on, the more we see that they have nothing to offer, that it's all pejoratives, it's all name calling. He goes at his rallies. Oh, he came up with this. How do you like this one? How do you like that? Democrat. How do you, what is happening? And the whole world is looking at us. And it's really embarrassing, too, to be an American now.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
a joke.
Absolutely. Hi, free speech people. Guess what? It's fun drive time.
Oh, my gosh.
Yippee! We are in the middle of an important election year, and today a lot of people are voting, so get out and vote. And this November, every vote will matter, but every election cycle we see the same playbook: confusion, misinformation, distraction, and efforts to make everyday people feel powerless or checked out before they even get to the voting booth. We just talked about that with Mike Nellis a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why independent media matters. One screen can inspire action, inform communities, and motivate people to participate in democracy. But that screen only stays on with your support. Okay? So call 877-378-8669 or visit freespeech.org/donate. Please and thank you. Let's talk about James Tallarico and Ken Paxton. Because I know you have some thoughts on them. And it's just, he is so awful. I can't believe that he got the nomination because, like we said earlier, it was an open primary. So a lot of Democrats went to the runoffs to say, do him because most likely he's going to lose. Because I think had it been a closed primary, Cornyn might have squeaked it out.
Right. But this is good news for us because Paxton is a crook, and his own party knows that. They impeached him, as everybody knows. He is a very disgusting person, and they're, in Tallarico, they are really afraid of Tallarico because he's a real Christian, and he's a real servant of the people, and there's a record to prove that. So that Republicans have nothing. If you saw Paxton's acceptance speech, it was just like he had his own burn book.
Yeah.
Like what's her name? Bondi, right?
Pam Bondi. Yeah.
And it's he's Talafrico. He's a vegan. Like, who cares?
Exactly.
Does this put food on people's table?
Right.
Does this put gas in your?
Stephanie Miller.
You've seen the difference, and it's getting better all the time. I'll stop the world and melt.
Stephanie Miller.
It is 26 minutes after the hour on The Stephanie Miller Show.
That's right.
323-410-0458 is the number. I'm Jody Hamilton, sitting in for Ms. Miller. Hey, Bill from New Jersey, you want to get in on the AI conversation?
AI?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everything, it will be defeated at some point. I'm sure there are plenty of people working on it right now, how to undo what AI does, because anything that can be done by man can be undone by man.
True.
And the hard part is how long is that going to take? But every single pixel that you look at has a history to it, and it can all be unlocked. And how many technologies have failed, like blocking you from being stealing your stuff and everything, and so it's just a matter of technology. And I don't want to sound like too casual about it, but and it may take some time, but it's not going to be rule us. It's going to do some damage and stuff, but sure, there's plenty of people already trying to hack it and figure it out. Well, and soon it'll come to the Bitcoin market with their blockchain. That's just technology that will be defeated at some point.
Well, it's, I don't want necessarily all AI to be defeated. Like we were saying,
Yes.
it can be helpful for, like,
enhancing things.
like my mammogram people.
Yes.
They use AI.
Yeah.
They run my mammogram through AI, and then a radiologist also looks at it.
It's really helpful for enhancing jobs, but there is a couple aspects though that are extremely negative. For one, data centers.
Yes.
And those data centers are destroying communities. They are making it so the people who live in those neighborhoods don't have access to clean drinking water, clean water for cleaning.
It also makes their electricity bills go sky high.
And
because
why aren't the data centers paying for that extra? And why do the residents have to do that? Why does the company not have to?
Until they can build more power plants, electricity is a finite resource.
So I want people to realize, yes, AI. We will get over it. I do agree with what the caller was saying. However, there are things in play right now that are so out of our control and so insanely dangerous that people are not paying attention to, that we need to start caring about. When it comes to having sympathy and having empathy for other people in the United States and caring about your brothers and your sisters over in Georgia or wherever, we need to start caring about this, and we need to start speaking out against this, because it is terrible and they are destroying the environment in other ways that it's insane how many people don't know what's going on.
I agree. I mean, it is true. I mean, and a lot of MAGA country are saying not in my backyard, and these are the best NIMBYs ever. It's about time NIMBYs did something right.
Right? Yeah.
All right, it's 29 minutes after the hour. Charlie Pierce coming up on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Holy Can we please talk about the fact that Donald Trump is out of his mother mind? No, seriously. Friends, what in the hot bronzed hell? Because while the rest of us were out here doing normal people shit, the so-called leader of the free world, the commander-in-chief, the supposed steward of this little democratic experiment of ours, spent the entire weekend careening into the abyss online. 52 posts in 6 hours. 52 in 6 hours. A movie poster meme casting himself as some legendary military commander, memes of himself wiping his nose with the American flag, his face on a peace medal, one absolutely unhinged airplanes coming out of his butt situation, just relentless, needy, neon-lit narcissist theater from a 79-year-old president, publicly unraveling, while the rest of us were out here living actual life. And listen, I am not a psychiatrist, I am not a therapist, hell, I'm a mom, and I'm not even an expert on my own kids, but I do know some. I know when my orchid shrivels into a beef jerky shoelace, it's dead. I know when my Kia starts coughing and making expensive noises, it needs to go to the shop. I know chunky milk means don't drink it. And I know when somebody is visibly, publicly behaving like they are in an escalating argument with reality. Because this is not normal. This is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, loco en la cabeza, several French fries short of a Happy Meal. The kind of one flew over the cuckoo's nest crazy where the word crazy itself checks the schedule, sees what's happening, quietly backs out of the room and mutters, absolutely the fuck not. This is above my pay grade, bro. Forget politics. If somebody in your own life spent an entire weekend behaving like this, grandiose fantasies, bizarre symbolism, compulsive look-at-me behavior, flooding the internet while major responsibilities piled up around them, you'd be concerned. Deeply concerned. You'd probably text somebody. You'd say, hey, are you seeing this? Except this isn't your weird uncle unraveling in public. This is the President of the United States of America. Wars, intelligence briefings, markets, public health, immigration, diplomacy, actual consequential shit. And if Joe Biden had spent one weekend doing even 10% of this, Republicans would be foaming at the mouth before breakfast demanding hearings, impeachment, and cognitive evaluations. Instead, we're all just somehow supposed to stare directly at this and pretend it's not insane. Donald Trump is out of his motherfucking mind, and Republicans want us to pretend that this shit is normal. This is not normal, and it is not okay.
You know those photos sitting on your phone right now? Thousands of them. Memories you'd hate to lose. ClickFree fixes that with one tap. Plug it in, hit backup, done. No cloud subscriptions, no monthly fees, no headaches. It works on your iPhone, Android, PC, or Mac, and it frees up space on your home phone in minutes. Over 200,000 people have already made the switch. Go to getclickfreenow.com/PVN to get yours today. And when you use that link, you're supporting Political Voices Network, helping us keep independent progressive voices on the air. So go to getclickfreenow.com/PVN. Back up your memories and back PVN at the same time.
That Trump says he will table his $2 billion MAGA slush fund, but a promise from Trump is worthless. If Trump and Republicans are truly abandoning this corrupt scheme, they should have zero problem banning it in law.
Amen, Chuck Schumer. It's 34 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Ms. Miller, and look who is here with us.
There's only one man now that understands, and that's the author of Idiot America.
Pierce. Pierce.
Charlie Pierce, political columnist for Esquire.com.
Why is everybody always laughing with me?
Hello, Charles. How are you?
Good morning, Jody Hamilton.
Good morning, Charlie Pierce.
Bella! Hiya!
Bella's back.
I am.
Yes.
Bella's back, and there's going to be trouble. Hey la, hey la.
So, Charles, as Chuck Schumer...
Oh, by the way, that guy Bill Pulte who's going to run...
Yeah, let's talk about him.
Yeah. First of all, he's not giving up his job at Fannie Mae.
What?
He's going to have both jobs.
Oh, my God. I didn't read that part.
Not like Director of Intelligence is like an important job or anything. But I don't know which one of them will be his side gig.
Lord.
Except that I'm terrified that one day we're going to find out that one of the mullahs just got a home loan.
Yeah.
There you go. You know what? I wouldn't put it past these people.
He's the guy who thought up the strategy of ginning up those phony mortgage fraud suits.
Oh.
Against Eric Swalwell and Letitia James.
Oh, yes.
And
Now that's
woman
why I know. Yeah.
From the Federal Reserve, whose name I can never remember.
Right.
He was the mastermind behind those.
Right. Now that's where his name was in my brain. Thank you for reminding me of that. So you were talking.
So this is a bad hire, and he shouldn't be confirmed. He's not. He has 2 federal jobs. He's not qualified for either one of them.
Right.
It's amazing.
Do you think that Cassidy, Tillis, and Cornyn will all vote against him because they're free?
I think that's the first test of this alleged gang of 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I mean, I hope so. Because they don't need Donald I know they're afraid of his MAGAs, but that's no reason not to have a spine.
I agree.
So Chuck Schumer talks, breaking news was yesterday that Donald says, I'm not going to do the slush fund, but nobody said anything about him not being audited anymore, because that's part of the settlement in air quotes.
I think that's what he really wanted anyway.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't really care about the January 6th defendants because they're other people, and he doesn't care about other people.
Right. No, and it's just it's disgusting what, I mean, the DOJ said they're going to abide by the court ruling, but they've reopened the case. So this is going to be a different thing. That could take out the whole IRS not auditing him and his family for the rest of their lives so that they can crime.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, his grandchildren are immunized against IRS action.
Yeah, it is his family. So, anybody in his family. So Mary Trump should be happy.
Yeah.
There we go. I didn't even think of that.
She should be very happy. She's part of the family. I did see something funny, though, in New York. Joyce Vance and Mary Trump walked by a sign that said, "Get rid of Trump and Vance."
That's awesome.
I know. They're like, not this Vance and not this Trump, but, the other ones. So I thought that was very funny of them to do.
And I continually get Joyce Vance and Barb McQuaid mixed up.
They work together, so that could be why.
Well, I remember the way I remember is Joyce Vance is the one with the chickens.
Yes, she does have the chickens, and her hair's longer.
Yes.
Just so you know what she looks like. So with the Schumer has laid out plans to kill the slush fund. He's right. I think it should be codified in law that this can't happen.
Yeah, well, Norm Eisen, who's been one of the primary illegal gadflies against this administration, is suing them over it because he doesn't trust them when they say that they're dumping it.
Right.
He thinks they're postponing it until the smoke clears, and then they'll find some other way to do it. But so I don't think anyone's taking. I'm happy they're not going to do it right away, but I don't think anyone's taking their denials seriously.
You can't with these people. I
mean,
you can't.
Not when it comes to money. Absolutely not.
Yeah, especially when it comes to money. And with the IRS thing, when they said, oh, you can just basically crime, all I thought was, why doesn't he add into this settlement, in air quotes, I can kill somebody on Fifth Avenue and not be prosecuted? I mean, why not?
That's right. He can, well, he's already, as long as he does it in pursuit of his, his
presidential
requirements
duties
of the job of president,
right?
He's fine. John Roberts is, he's fine with that.
But I mean, it's like, because criming is criming, and so they're basically, the IRS said, sure, commit crimes because my dad said, you've made it when you get audited. he said, you've made a lot of money once you've gotten audited, which I find funny.
That is funny.
I've always found that very funny. It's like, yay, we've been audited. No.
And by the way, I took journalism law in journalism school before your mom's case.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
you wouldn't have learned it.
It was not in my big book.
You did not have to study it. I did have to study a case, though, BMI versus...
I studied it by reading about it.
Right.
Yeah. I studied it in summer of 1992 is when I took my comm law class.
Yeah, I took an entertainment law class, so I didn't have to.
Okay.
I knew it anyway, but I didn't have to study it.
Well,
but
you kind of lived it.
I did.
Yeah.
But I did study.
Did you like sit in on the trial and stuff?
No, we were in Hawaii at the time. I was in school. I was
okay.
14 when they went to trial. Finally, it was we were on the Big Island at the time. I saw it on television because it was televised.
Sure.
I remember her haircut and everything.
And that's right when Entertainment Tonight started. So Entertainment Tonight was
they had
covering
it everywhere.
That trial. Yeah,
they sure were. They sure were. So I assume you saw that Ma'am Danny has repealed bedtime for kids because of the Knicks games?
I mean, that's straight out of like Fiorello LaGuardia reading the funny papers.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is. Uh-oh, we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no, we've lost Charlie.
Oh, okay.
He's gone away somewhere.
Let's see.
So, so he was writing earlier. He said, Republicans' party line immigration enforcement is stuck because of Donald's stupid slush fund. And there's a mini rebellion. This is why he's thinking that Bill Cassidy and others will vote to make this illegal. And it doesn't seem legal to begin with, right?
No.
I mean, the IRS saying, sure, go ahead, commit
come
crimes.
on. Come on.
And the other thing is because it's technically not a settlement at this moment in time, because no judge has signed off on it, and that's the only way you can do that, it can be taken away because it's not legal at the moment. So, there he is. He's back.
I do not know what happened.
Okay.
That's okay.
You're back. You're
back. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I missed you so much.
I was terrible. Oh, Jody.
So what do you think of the potential of Joe Rogan being hired for 60 Minutes? We don't think he's going to do it because he's making too much money and
won't move to New York.
And is enjoying working for himself.
Well, I mean, he's not going to join there as a reporter, is he?
They want him to be a
commentator.
commentator, yeah.
Yeah, Barry's gonna lard up the lineup with a bunch of quote unquote influencers. Hey, boy, do I hate that word.
Yeah.
So do I. I hate lawfare
I did not get in this
weaponization
business
too.
to be an influencer.
Right. Right.
I got into this business to be a reporter.
Right.
I did not get into this business to create content across many platforms.
Right.
I got into this to be a writer. I'm sorry. That's my old fuddy-duddy coming out.
That's okay. I agree with you. I hate the term influencer, and especially when it first started and people would go to like bed and breakfast and expect to get stuff for free because they're an influencer. And it's
they get recognized as, on their chyrons now.
Yeah.
Social media influencer.
Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Hey, if you do something funny, I'm down with that. But people buy things based on someone just saying buy it. I mean, it's advertising, I suppose, and they get paid for that. But yeah, it's ridiculous. So I heard a rumor that Serena Williams might be coming back to play tennis.
I think it's more than a rumor. I think it's been confirmed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That would be cool. I mean, is she going to come back for Wimbledon or what?
No, she's coming back for.
She's going to play a doubles tournament.
Yes,
on grass
in London, but it's not at Wimbledon. It's at the other thing.
It's another grass court, which.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
if
she comes back to play doubles, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because like Martina played doubles till she was, almost 50.
Yeah, and she's 44, I believe. Serena is. And when I was listening to the news breaking this morning, I was like, she's won 23 Grand Slam titles.
I know.
7 at Wimbledon alone.
And long ago when I was still covering tennis, and you were just hearing about the Williams sisters, everybody talked about Venus. And Serena was kind of this afterthought.
Right. I remember. It was all Venus for the longest time.
Yeah, Venus started having like knee trouble and stuff, and all of a sudden this freight train came up behind her.
Yeah, watching her play, her on the worst day she's still just incredible. This woman, she's such an athlete. It's amazing. And then 44, I mean, it's harder. It's just harder to move, but she's lost weight because I've seen the commercials. So she's probably
the GLP-1 commercials that she does.
The Roe commercials. I think
is she on the Fat Shot?
She's on one of them.
She's a spokesperson for them.
She's a spokesperson for Roe, which sells the drugs. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I think Charles Barkley's on there too, a few other people. She's lost 35 pounds according to the commercials. Right. So she's obviously in slightly better shape, but she's training like crazy because she's an amazing athlete, and I wish her well. I hope she does play until she's in her 50s. I think that would be fantastic.
She'll fill the arena, that's for sure.
She will put butts in the seats, that's for darn sure. All right, Charlie, thank you so much for being on with me as usual, and you will be back with
thank you.
You will be back with Ms. Miller.
You will be in the Christopher chair next week.
Right? That's right.
I shall be bothering you next week, and you will be back with the lady.
Yes.
Oh, that will be fun.
And I will be at the University of Nebraska dairy store that you recommended.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, that's good stuff.
But apparently they have the best ice cream in Nebraska. So.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
They have the best ice cream on the plains.
I think you're right.
Well, that sounds yummy. Bring some back.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Charlie.
Bye now.
Bye. It is 46 minutes after the hour.
I know there's a lot of going on, chaos by design, as you and I always talk about. But Kim posted it's completely vanished from the media. A sitting congressman, Ted Lieu, said on the record the Epstein files are being blocked because they show Trump raped and threatened to kill children. I sort of am like, really? Can we just sort of wash that out of the news cycle as well? Obviously they have not released the full Epstein files, but even what we've seen, as Ted Lieu and others, I think Dan Goldman also has said, for the record. So what are we doing here?
Well, what we're doing is filing lawsuit after lawsuit that, and our friend Katie Fang, I think just yesterday or maybe today, filed for an immediate injunction ordering the Justice Department for openers. Unredact like 8 names of potential Epstein co-conspirators that were blacked out of the Epstein files in violation of federal law. So listen, this is not going away. This is not getting any better for the administration. And, I think this is going to start to move in the right direction.
I mean, Glenn, we were saying yesterday that, Thomas Massie, of course, now Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't do it. Thomas Massie now has threatened to read the names on the House floor. But I asked again, what about the President of the United States, who is mentioned in there more than anybody? Yes, I want everyone to be prosecuted. But what about the president, who is, again, very credibly accused in there of raping children?
I mean, listen, Donald Trump is going to have so many criminal cases coming his way, I believe. This is not Pollyanna. It's probably going to have to await, the moment he leaves office because of that stupid DOJ policy that says we can't prosecute a sitting criminal president. I think that's the person who is most important to prosecute because he's victimizing the American people. But I think the Epstein files and so many other things will catch up to Trump. I feel like we've got a little bit of a shift and a little bit of momentum right now.
And Glenn, that leads us to this latest, most egregious, in my opinion, vindictive prosecution of E. Jean Carroll, someone who went to a jury of her peers twice. He was convicted twice. That is why we can say he is an adjudicated rapist without saying allegedly, because that's what the judge ruled. Of course, she's never seen a penny of her judgment. He's obviously going to now. Can you talk a little bit about that case and its chances?
There is no case to talk about against E. Jean Carroll. Now, the reporting this morning is Donald Trump's dirty DOJ leadership said, we have not opened a criminal investigation against E. Jean Carroll. And of course, I'm ready to take that to the bank because when do they lie to us? Right. But here's the thing, Steph. I do not wish a vindictive prosecution on anybody, most of all, E. Jean Carroll. But if they try to bring a criminal case against her, guess what? That will be the 3rd time she has kicked Donald Trump's ass in court. Yeah. So you know what? Bring it on. And I'll bet she, as stress-inducing as this can be, I'll bet she's saying, you know what? sport, I beat you twice, I'll beat you again.
Yeah. But I mean, the point is just, first of all, she hasn't seen a dime of what she's owed, and secondly, to try to bleed her through attorney's fees again for this, I was saying yesterday, Glenn, remember when they used to accuse us of being the party of, Democrats are all trial lawyers and frivolous lawsuits? I mean, how many frivolous lawsuits has this guy filed, not just in the presidency, in his entire life? And this latest one, he has refiled the $10 billion lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal over the Jeffrey Epstein birthday card. That he sent to to Jeffrey Epstein. The lawsuit is his second attempt to sue the Rupert Murdoch Dome newspaper after a judge dismissed his first complaint in April, ruling it failed to satisfy the actual malice standard required in defamation lawsuits. So now what? Once again.
Well, listen, it will either get dismissed again, and yes, he is always weaponizing lawsuits. These are often baseless lawsuits, but he tries to punish people with the process, right? The process is the punishment, putting them through hell. But here's the thing. I would be happy to see the frivolous $10 billion lawsuit move forward, because let's put him under oath at a deposition on video and watch him implode the way he did in the E. Jean Carroll case, right? And the other thing, let me just add, Steph, she hasn't seen a penny, but you know what her lawyer said? Her lawyer said, you know what? We don't mind waiting to collect until the Supreme Court or until the case is entirely over.
Stephanie Miller.
It is 52 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. 323-410-0458 is the number. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Ms. Miller along with Bella with a Z, Chris and Lonnie.
Hi, Lonnie.
And the dogs were in here and they were adorable and I did not spoil them, I swear.
They had snacks.
Well, the boys had more than the girl.
Okay.
Laura in Virginia, hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to talk to you guys just in time before my work meeting. Thank you for keeping us entertained and informed while stuff's out. I just learned this weekend, so probably a lot of people don't realize, there are actually two organizations. There is an official America 250, which was a nonpartisan organization created by Congress 10 years ago to do the planning and coordinating.
Right.
And all those funds that it receives must be accounted for publicly.
Right.
In contrast, Trump created this Freedom 250 specifically by him to solicit donations for Trump-related projects. It's basically a super PAC and fundraising arm for him. But the worst thing is that I just also learned that in Congress, in that big benefit billionaires bill that they passed last year, the GOP directed the Department of Interior to spend $150 million on the country's birthday, but it did not specify if that money should go to the America 250 or Trump's 250. So in theory, Trump can take that money, any money that the Interior gives to Freedom 250, and use it however he wants it, and keeping it for himself, because there's no congressional oversight of his self-created organization. It's just more grifting. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's our taxpayer money.
It is. You're absolutely right. No, that's ridiculous. I mean, and that's part of the reason all these other people dropped out of the music side, at least, is because they thought it was the other thing. They didn't realize it was Donald's thing.
Right.
And the disgusting thing that they're putting on the White House lawn. Did you see Pete Souza? A bunch of MAGAs were posting pictures of a concert that was on the White House lawn for Obama, July 4th concert. And he goes, I don't know why you're using this, because what's being built right now is going to ruin the lawn. It's going to cost millions of dollars. We made it, when they did it, we made sure that the lawn wasn't going to be destroyed and all these other things. Donald, this isn't the own that you think it is, Pete Souza said. He's like, no, this is not the same thing. I mean, it's so gross what they're doing. It's just, somebody posted the before and afters of what it looks like now and what it used to look like. And they said, it looks like a meth addict moved in.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. Because, I mean,
projects.
Oh, yeah. I there was a guy that lived in my house for a little bit, total tweaker.
Oh.
To a point where he took apart a television.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't do that.
No, it's meth projects.
Oh, yeah. And he put up, you ruined some sheets just to kind of separate the room he was staying in. And I'm like, please don't do that. And he threw a bunch of our lawn chairs into our pool.
Why?
I don't know.
So he could get them out later.
Maybe.
Genuinely,
or to
so he
clean
could
them.
go do them. With something.
I mean, and his last name was Wright, R-I-G-H-T. And I'm like, you are not Mr. Wright.
No.
You are poorly named.
Yeah.
Very, very poorly named. I was not a fan of his. Well, hi, Clyde. Clyde wants more. He wants more stuff. Don't you, buddy? Well, I give you some later, okay?
God,
Don't
now
tell
that
your
we're
mother.
talking about meth, I'm just...
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Just needed to drop that in there.
So true. That's perfect.
And
so
now we can move on.
Yes, I love that. Okay, you remember Doge?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, FEMA is shorthanded going into, because hurricane season started, I believe, technically yesterday. This is the smallest disaster workforce since 2021. 15 vacancies in the top emergency management job right now.
Right. Awesome.
You know, U.S. is less prepared for this hurricane season than it was at the start of last year's quiet summer and fall. FEMA has lost a lot of higher level people with a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge over the past year and a half, and its staffing all the way around has dropped drastically. And we're expecting an El Nino coming in, which means the Hawaii's going to be hit pretty hard. Not that he cares about Hawaii, but he doesn't even care about the Carolinas. They're still trying to get help.
Wasn't Hawaii also just hit really hard a couple months ago?
Oh yeah, bad rains.
Yes, and there was flooding everywhere and damage to so many people's houses, and they were not given any help by the federal government.
No, because Donald doesn't care because they didn't vote for him.
No,
and that's the thing. He's such an. I mean, he's still not helping the Carolinas, and that was almost 2 years, a year and some change ago.
Yeah.
And so he responds and doesn't even care about his own voters. So, I mean, this is not surprising when it comes to what's going on. Plus, we didn't talk about it much yesterday, all the lawyers that have left the DOJ that are good, solid lawyers. That's not good.
And now we're left with the trash.
We are.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, when it's an appointment, the next, hopefully, Democratic president can get rid of all these appointees, and then it's your rank and file lawyers that I'm concerned about that quit.
The nonpartisan ones, the
they've been there forever.
The career people.
Yeah.
That they have institutional knowledge, and
exactly.
now there's no institutional knowledge inside the Department of Justice anymore, and that's a huge loss.
It is. It's a loss to all of us, and hopefully some of them will come back. Once we get a reasonable administration back in control, but who knows?
You know what? Who would want to live that way?
Yeah, I would.
You know, if you're a career person in D.C. and now all of a sudden your job is at risk depending on who's the president.
Yeah.
I just want to get out of government altogether.
I
go
would
to
too.
go to someplace
I wouldn't
more
join
stable.
the government if that's the case, because he's becoming allowed to fire anybody at will. So, which is insane to me.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't maintain good people that way.
No, not at all.
They'll all run to the private sector, and they should.
I wouldn't blame him one bit. It is 58 minutes after the hour. Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Welcome to Caffeinated, where we focus on the parts of a story that really matter by showing compassion to the opposing side. Take, if you will, Steve Bannon, the man who said, "Darkness is good." Darth Vader, Dick Cheney, Satan, that's power. Who published the op-ed, "Birth Control Makes Women Unattractive and Crazy," and many other op-eds for Breitbart, most of which read better in the original German. Who warned the media should keep their mouth shut, and that same media can't stop desperately trying to book him on all their shows. You guys, seriously, I'm a little worried about Steve Bannon. Not because he brazenly defied a congressional subpoena about his role in the terrorist attacks on our nation's capital of January 6, 2021, wagging his junk at it, citing executive privilege, even though he'd been fired by the White House back in January 2017 and was working at the time of said attack as a podcaster, and not because he's a white supremacist who published a lot of white supremacist articles and supported the border wall and the Muslim ban and lots of authoritarian dictators, and who actually did say that cities could be washed away in an orgy of de-gentrification. No, I'm worried about Steve Bannon because the man looks like an alcoholic Thom. Have you seen this guy? He looks like a sack of pus that developed rickets. He looks like gout that caught gout. The man does not look well. Yeah, that's Steve Bannon, the one who was arrested on a Chinese billionaire's yacht and indicted by a federal grand jury for wire fraud and money laundering because he was ripping off Trump supporters donating to his Build the Wall campaign, and then Trump pardoned him for ripping off his own MAGA faithful. That guy. Is he okay? I'm just worried because Steve Bannon looks like a guy who was up watching porn until 6:45 a.m. and his alarm was set for 7. He looks like the guy in the office that HR has to physically give a deodorant stick to after one too many coworker complaints. He looks like a diseased leprechaun freebasing in the Port Authority bus terminal men's room. But we need to put aside our petty differences and recognize that this is clearly a fellow human being who is in pain. Can we do that? Do we have the humanity to reach out with love to Steve Bannon? Because he looks like the guy in the zombie movie who doesn't want the other survivors to know he got bit in the last scene. He looks like an infected toe. He looks like that uncle who comes over and smells of cigarettes and cat piss and always wants you to sit on his lap, but you're 15. I'm just worried about the guy is all I'm saying. And yes, I know his wife alleges he physically abused her and wouldn't let their kids go to school with Jewish children. I know YouTube has taken down his videos because they glorify violence, and Facebook took down his videos for glorifying violence, and Twitter has banned him for glorifying violence. And I know he said that Mussolini was a guy's guy who had amazing fashion sense. He said that. But in fairness, lots of people who aren't fascists praise Mussolini's style. But I am asking you to look into your hearts and find some compassion. Because Steve Bannon looks like a guy whose parole officer makes him knock on every door and introduce himself whenever he moves to a new neighborhood. He looks like Pigpen the Hutt. Steve Bannon looks like a guy who was just forced to drive cross-country in a small car with no ventilation and the windows rolled up while sitting next to Steve Bannon. He's not a healthy man. We are just concerned because he looks like he just ate 20 pounds of cheese and it's coming out of his facial pores. And by the way, I know what you're thinking. What right do I have to make fun of Steve Bannon's appearance when I look like Joe Exotic's mullet donor? It's true, I still have my pandemic hair, but I know it. See, number one, I accept that I look like the love child of Beethoven and Loki. I look like John Wick during a nationwide Moroccan oil shortage. But number two, I'm just concerned about him. So while you cynically fixate on the fact that he called the Civil War the War of Southern Independence, or that he looks like physical proof that white supremacists are the greatest argument against the concept of white supremacy. And he said that conservative women are better than progressive women because, and I quote, they're not a bunch of dykes that came from the Seven Sisters School up in New England. You ask, how can Steve Bannon sleep at night? I say, in a puddle of his own sick. But that's mean. We gotta be the good guys and look after him and make sure he's okay. Because he looks like a police sketch artist rendition of mutated gonorrhea. And that's why we're starting Steve Pack. Your selfless donation, MAGA fans, of $100 or more will allow us to buy multiple shirts for Steve Bannon, all of which he can wear at the same time. Then, when he vomits Jägermeister up on the top shirt, he can simply remove it and continue his broadcast. So if you see Steve Bannon, put aside your differences and offer him your hand. But you know to wash it, like right away. Like wash that shit. And don't touch your face either, okay? Just offer your hand, but then soak the entire hand in bleach for half a day. Soak the whole arm in bleach for half a day. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. And remember, if Donald Trump pardons Steve Bannon for stealing from white nationalist Trump supporters, maybe we should thank Trump for setting Steve free to continue his fine patriotic work.
Well, I tell you, I am rarely, if ever, more impressed by the actual product than what was shown in the ads, but that is 100% the case with my new Muddy Mat. Honestly, the online ads do not do this thing justice. When wet paws or muddy feet hit a Muddy Mat, the proprietary mud lock fibers grab the water and dirt instantly. I'm talking if a dripping wet, say 90-pound golden retriever walks in after a swim and the paws come off dry. Watch a video, you will swear it's edited. It's not. With all the dogs, I used to mop every single day. Since putting Muddy Mats down, I haven't pulled the mop out in months. Muddy Mat has 50,000 reviews, 4.7 stars. It is the #1 dog mat on Amazon and the official anti-mud mat of the AKC. This is not a gimmick. Go to Amazon and search Muddy Mat. That's MUDDYMAT. If you're a Prime member, it shows up the same day in most metros. This is the single best home purchase I have made all year. I recommend you buy one for every door. Search Muddy Mat, MUDDYMAT, on Amazon right now.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
Even if you're just looking to mix it up by voting for a celebrity, there are so many celebrities who live here, all of whom would be better choices for mayor than Spencer Pratt. Steve Guttenberg would be a better mayor than Spencer Pratt. Weird Al would be a better mayor.
Yes.
Magic Johnson would be a great mayor.
Yeah.
The Accidentes billboard guy. The dog next to the lady on the insurance bill.
Adriana's insurance.
Yes.
Literally, anyone from the cast of The Hills would be a better mayor than Spencer Pratt.
The Accidentes guy.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Adriana's insurance, please. Where are you, girl?
Yeah.
Step up.
Jacob and Ronnie.
Yes.
Jacob.
Call Jacob.
I always thought it was
local.
Jacob and Ronnie.
No.
Oh, no.
Because the jingle sounded for the longest time like Jacob and Ronnie. It sounded to me like Jacob and Ronnie, like it was two people.
Yep.
1-800.
No, those are the Law Brothers.
6-7-8-9. Call Jacob.
Very nice.
Those are the Law Brothers you're thinking of.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I've always thought that he was just two other people. It was him and another guy. And then I saw his name spelled. I'm like, oh, that's a weird last name to try to jingle.
We need Sweet James.
Sweet James, baby.
Where are you, please?
Sweet James and that scruffy beard of his.
Step up. Step up to the plate, babe. It's your time.
It is. Right. It's totally his time. So this was disconcerting. The FBI agents are visiting homes of 2020 Wisconsin election officials.
Why?
Okay, so they have interviewed current and former officials about the 2020 election. Get over it, Donald. They're concerned because of what happened. Okay, so they're going to Milwaukee to see if any officials are going into Milwaukee to see if any agents are trying to seize the ballots, because apparently in Milwaukee, they maintain its absentee ballots in a way that could allow agents to determine who votes for whom.
Okay.
So that's really bad. The Justice Department, as we know, is going after Wayne County, Michigan. So far, they haven't gotten them, but they did get ballots out of Fulton County, Georgia. And then what's-his-face in Riverside County took, 500,000 ballots here, which is illegal. You have no right to them. So we'll see. I mean, Donnie, by the way, you lost the election fair and square. And there are concerns that you didn't win the next one fair and square. I know I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it really does seem like something was amiss.
Yeah.
Especially after what Elon's girlfriend is saying, whether she's truthful or not, I don't know. But ex-girlfriend, excuse me. An appeals court has blocked, thankfully, Donald's transgender military ban.
That's right.
Now, it's not a full block, but it's for people that are currently serving.
As
right
it
now.
should be.
It's not people that were already forced out. It's not going to help them or anybody trying to join right now. That's still a ban. But so the appeals court partially blocked it because the language of the policy was, quote, unabashedly demeaning, and that its policy stigmatizes transgender persons as inherently unfit, and its conclusions bear no relation to fact. That's excellent. The Pentagon policy enacted by Kegbreath stated that people with gender dysphoria are unfit for military service because, among other things, the character of such persons, which is in those words, is in his words, is inconsistent with the high standards of honesty, humility, and integrity. Coming from Kegbreath, the guy that is firing people because they're ladies or not white, or not promoting. That's what he's doing. He's not promoting people. The Trump administration has not attempted to defend or provide any factual basis for these disparaging characterizations of American citizen, and has not contested that the plaintiff appellees, that's the right word, it looked like Applebee's for a minute.
Applebee's?
Who are currently serving, have served honorably and pose no threat to national security, even though they happen to be transgender. I mean, the fact of the matter is, just being transgender doesn't mean you're ask Charlotte Clymer. She's was she Air Force? I forget.
I think she was, yes.
Yeah, I think she was.
Yep. And I have a friend who's a trans man who is in the Navy right now. He doesn't know what's going on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm glad that this is in his favor, because that's scary. I mean, again, it's your job.
Right.
And a lot of people want to do this and be career at it. And you want to keep these people that want to be doing this.
Absolutely.
We have an all-volunteer so far, Army and Navy and Air Force and Marines and National Guard for that matter. So until they reinstate the draft, this is everybody that joins wants to be there, which inherently says they're good people that want to help this country. Yeah. So it should not matter whether they are trans or not. It should matter that they can do the job and do it and keep our country secure. I don't think that's too hard to ask for people to do. Hi, Seth, the Homo of Hope. How are you?
I'm good. Hello, heteros X and Z and hetero adjacent Chris. You're all doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Bella.
Thanks.
So a couple of things. I want to talk about two Senate races.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first one, Plattner in Maine. I think Mike Nellis got it done right. I think in the list of flaws that a candidate could have, that sexting a woman is very low on the list. And where he may have hurt one woman, his wife, and they're working it out, I hope. The big flaw is Susan Collins, who has hurt thousands of women by voting for Kavanaugh. So let's keep that in perspective.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I want to talk about John Ossoff. Yeah. I think, I've always said he's amazing. I feel like I'm watching John Kennedy. I'm dating myself, but at least I'm dating. I think, like, when I watch him, like, he's so inspirational. Like, Lawrence did, like, a 5-minute cover of him yesterday. And, again, he's so, like Pete Buttigieg is so on point, so clear, charismatic, that if
Hello?
He's gone.
Oh, no. I didn't touch it, I swear.
And it's not the problem that we have.
No. Call back, Seth. But okay, now that's not working.
No.
Uh-oh, I'm gonna go away now.
Yeah. Restart the.
That's the plan, is to restart. It's now a circle of
now
death.
We gotta,
Now we have a
Spinny
circle
beach
of
ball.
death. This is
Spinny beach ball.
fun. Isn't it fun?
I have insider information that Joe Rogan was.
Oh,
what?
You're back?
Hello? Oh, no. Joe Rogan was not brought up in any meetings, apparently, and is not in circulation to take over Anderson Cooper's spot.
Okay.
Interesting that the story. Where was the story from? I threw it away.
I saw it on media.
I'm sure it was probably a conversation.
My trial balloon, maybe, that just went up.
I'm sure it happened. Like, it was a conversation that happened somewhere,
right,
at some point,
right,
within the last couple days. But it's not. That's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, it does. Like we were saying earlier, it doesn't make sense. The man controls his own everything. Why would he want to work for anybody
else? He has built
else?
such a massive conglomerate for himself to the point where he does not have to rely on legacy media to keep him afloat.
Right.
In the same way that people like Don Lemon and Joy Reid have been able to leave that space and build something for themselves. I think it's really important. I hate to say it because I hate Joe Rogan. I hate that man. I can't stand him. Say what you want though. He has built something pretty amazing that only a few people will ever be able to accomplish.
Absolutely.
That story's no longer a Mediaite.
Oh, they took it down.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well.
I don't think it's
okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least they took it down.
Well, rest assured, it's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's the important thing.
Exactly.
That was a stupid idea.
Yeah.
If it even was an idea in the first place.
I don't know if it was.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Seth, you're back. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I could still hear you guys, but Krista said the whole thing froze, but I'm not sure where I left off with you guys. But instead of talking about the flawed candidate, I want to talk about the ceiling candidates because I think that John Ossoff. I think if Keisha Lance Bottoms wins the governorship, so she would have if he were to run for president, she would be able to appoint a Democratic senator.
Sure.
Otherwise he needs to wait because he can't leave the Senate, but he could replace Chuck Schumer as the leader. That guy he's magic. He is magic. And I really feel like he is like what we need. So I just want to talk about our great ones for a minute since so much of our attention go to all the ones where there are flaws. So, but speaking of great ones, you are the great ones. You are all doing an amazing job in Stephanie's absence, and I'm sure she's somewhere watching thinking, oh my God, am I going to be replaced? So
we've got even Phoebe right here, so you know.
Her name's on the show, so I don't think she'll be replaced.
I think she's fine.
Yeah, she's probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she will be. And I want to give a shout out to hubby Lonnie over there in the corner on his fabulous camera work. So you guys make everybody's day. So I love you all, and I just wanted to touch base.
All right.
All right, honey. Thank you. Oh, he's the best. He just
Seth? Oh, yeah.
He's the best. He really is. He's fun to, and he gave me a ride home when I wasn't feeling well at the last March.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was really sweet of him because we met at this one place, this one corner, and we were hanging out together. I couldn't. Something was wrong with me, and it was only a 1.5 mile walk. I mean, dude, I can do that in my sleep, right?
Yeah.
But I just wasn't feeling well, and I was getting ready to go home, and he and his husband were leaving, and he goes, "Do you want to ride?" And I'm like, "Yes, please." And it was when Lonnie knew, when I came home, I was just like a mess, and I still don't know what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
Still don't know what was wrong with me. Okay, so Mark Halperin reports Republicans are going bonkers watching Donald screw up the midterms, and I cannot be happier.
Yeah.
I mean, when Mike Nellis's piece on AI, he said, look, Democrats, don't be giddy over what's going on the Republican side for the AI stuff because it can happen to us too.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I mean, just the misinformation that was going on with the Bernie Hillary stuff, you know, and that wasn't AI. That was just regular propaganda being boosted against the Bernie voters and the Hillary people.
Yeah, AI supercharges propaganda that's already been there.
And that thing he said about the three-way that was suggested, that's disgusting.
I didn't hear anything about that one.
Well, we don't live in Kentucky, that's why. It should have made national news, though, I think. Because that's just gross.
But why would you want to platform something like that?
You still need to know about it.
I guess.
You know, it's information.
Yeah.
I know. It should have been taken down immediately. The fact that it was allowed to air more than once, which it sounded like it did, is just gross.
Yeah.
Just gross. It's so gross. They're gross. All right, it's 18 minutes after the hour. This portion of the Stephanie...
Hi, Frangela. Oh, by the way, you also worked with Stephen Colbert when you were at Second City in Chicago.
We both
can
did.
confirm he's a lovely human. And did you see the show that replaced him? The ratings dropped 85%. So, haha, CBS, haha. 85%.
You know, it was a purely financial decision.
Yeah, they paid.
You
they
don't
paid
understand
CBS.
business.
Yeah, CBS didn't have to pay anything. They, Byron Allen pays them, and then has to sell the commercial time. So he
needs to pay us if he wants us to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how that's gonna work. And even then, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna. I'll take the money. I'm not going to do it.
Okay, so she mentioned reparations. You reposted, so we can do reparations. It just has to be for traitors. Yes, that's the thing. Yes, reparations.
Yep.
Right.
We're talking about on something ain't right.
I don't see enough people. This is what kills me, Stephanie.
What kills me?
If somebody had said, if Obama had said, you know what, I'm going to set up a fund of $1.7 billion for black people.
Ooh.
And we're just going to give that out.
Yeah.
I ain't going to ask you. We're not going to vote on it.
Yeah. Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
We're just going to give it to any black person that shows up. Do you know this country would be shut down?
Let me tell you how much those other branches of government would beat the heck out of that branch. There'd be no way on earth.
Yeah.
And that would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, first of all horrific stuff happened in the past because, the thing you always hear, it's like, well, no one today was a slave and no one who's alive today owned a slave or what. Yeah. Yes. All, I think you guys talked about this on Something Ain't Right, the internment camps or, Holocaust victims. I mean, all horrific crimes happened way in the past, right?
Well, up until now, because I think they really are trying to get their mark on that part of history. There's always an argument. Whenever you bring up reparations, I've always said, if you want to see how people in this country, particularly white folks, really feel about diversity, equity, inclusion, bring up reparations
Right.
and see what happens.
Right.
And I'm not people who swear they are liberal and woke and all about righting wrongs will all of a sudden be like shocked and offended.
Right.
You know what? And let's disabuse the idea of in the past. My mama was redlined twice.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In
They
housing.
just took away our voting rights again.
We only had them
They are
since 65.
That's
meaningfully.
what I'm saying. We're talking about now, okay? They're taking away our voting rights now. More black men are imprisoned than they were enslaved. Don't tell me about when. I could talk about now.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yep. So we talked about this last week, but there's another article now about Kevin Hart's reaction. Because, we had John Fugelsang on earlier. Obviously, you guys, we've talked about Stephen Colbert. We've played Jimmy Kimmel. Listen, we're not wilting flowers. We're comedians. You know what I mean? Like, we do edgy humor. But I just wanted to get your take. So Kevin Hart says Tony Hinchcliffe arguably had the best set at his Netflix roast despite backlash. He said,
Hi, everybody. It's Free Speech Fund Drive Week. Yay! So guess what, kids? We are in the middle of an important election year, and this November, every vote will matter. But every election cycle, we see the same playbook: confusion, misinformation, distraction, and efforts to make everyday people feel powerless or checked out before they even get to the voting booth. That's why independent media like this matters. One screen can inspire action, inform communities, and motivate people to participate in democracy. But that screen only stays on with your support. Okay, so call 877-378-8669 or visit freespeech.org/donate. Thank you.
Hi, Frangela. By the way, you also worked with Stephen Colbert when you were at Second City in Chicago.
We both
can confirm
did.
he's a lovely human. And did you see the show that replaced him? The ratings dropped 85%. So, CBS, 85%.
It was a purely financial decision.
Yeah, they paid
CBS.
Business. Yeah, CBS didn't have to pay anything. They, Byron Allen pays them, and then has to sell the commercial time. So he
needs to pay us if he wants us to watch.
Yep.
Okay, that's how that's gonna work. And even then, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'll take the money. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, so she mentioned reparations. You reposted, so we can do reparations. It just has to be for traitors. Yes, that's the thing. Yes, reparations.
Yep.
Right.
We're talking about on something ain't right.
I don't see enough people. This is what kills me, Stephanie.
What kills me?
If somebody had said, if Obama had said, you know what, I'm going to set up a fund of $1.7 billion for black people.
Ooh.
And we're just going to give that out.
Yeah.
I ain't going to ask you. We're not going to vote on it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
We're just going to give it to any black person that...
Stephanie Miller.
I need to move
It is 24 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. 323-410-0458 is the number. And as I was saying earlier, I'm Jody Hamilton, by the way, sitting in for Ms. Miller, for those of you that are tuning into Free Speech TV going, what have you done with the Folgers? It's so different. But the Mark Halperin report, my favorite part, he says, the polling of Republicans is... okay, as you may see, states are not expecting at all to go towards Democrats, have Democratic wins. Democrats could, he says, pick up 8 seats in the Senate.
That's amazing.
That would be so nice. I would like that.
Don't get happy.
Don't get happy.
Don't count on it.
Don't count on it.
Work for it.
Work for it. Vote, and Bob will say that tomorrow.
Yep.
But Democrats have singularly kept it as a referendum on Donald. Keep doing this. Talk about corruption, because talk about the fact that the economy is not working for most Americans, because that's what they care about. And while at the same time, Republicans are focusing on things that don't matter, like transgenderism. It doesn't matter. And by the way, if we shouldn't say that, well, it doesn't matter to me because it doesn't matter to me. But I guess, James Tallarico, somebody said that God was non-binary. Who cares?
Well, I mean, in the philosophical sense, yes.
Yeah.
If God is omniscient, an omniscient being doesn't have a gender.
No, I mean, God is all-knowing, all-being.
You can picture God however you want him or her to be.
Exactly, but the MAGAs are upset about that.
Yes, they are.
And it's like...
because they need a picture book.
They need the big guy in the sky with the beard.
Well, it's the same way they get mad when Jesus is white. I mean, he wasn't.
Oh, Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
We've had that.
Yeah,
we've established her thoughts on that. But
yes, we have.
But just from still how Christians choose to portray Jesus is very inaccurate.
Well, of course. I mean, he was not born in Norway.
No.
You know,
he is not from a Nordic country.
No, not blue-eyed. He had dark skin and curly hair and brown eyes, and we don't know how long his hair was, or if technically he existed. So there
granola munching hippie.
Yes, he was. He was a granola munching hippie. Tree hugger, total tree hugger. That guy. So, our favorite Secretary of Defense, not the thing he calls himself, has reportedly blocked more armed services promotions that are affecting black and female Navy officers. Basically, he's no longer doing things based on merit. He did that a few months ago. He's doing it again. The net result is a slate of 22 nominees to be one-star admirals bears little resemblance to the broader forces. So basically, women have X amount of people that are in the Navy, but they're not promoting women to be commanders. There are X amount of people that are non-white that are in the Navy, and they're not promoting people like that as commanders who are, their merits say that they should be promoted. And he's just going around, he just wants his white Christian nationalist armed services. And it's really, he likes to fight and do all that. He's such a child when it comes to what this job entails, because the last thing we should want to do is go to war. Right? You know, it's lazy to go to war as far as I'm concerned. And that's all
harder to negotiate, as Trump is finding out.
Yeah, well, he just thought, the thing is remember when Russia with Afghanistan and we helped them in Afghanistan?
Yep.
Russia's doing that with Iran.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to be bringing that up.
Right.
China's doing that with Iran as well.
Yep.
And so what broke the Soviet Union? The Afghanistan war that they had. And that this is how you break this country. Because financially speaking, Mike Nellis pointed that out in some of his stuff that he wrote. He said, we can't afford feeding children. In fact, Medicaid and SNAP at the beginning of next year are basically gone for a lot of people in this country. Yeah. They're having the new work requirements for Medicaid. You have to fill out new paperwork, I think all the time, to just get basic health care. Children are going to lose health care.
Which is basically a job in and of itself.
Right.
Filling out all the paperwork.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to need help. A lot of people, especially people that are somewhat disabled, but technically, because they're saying, if you can't work, you're still going to be on Medicaid, but you have to prove that you can't work, not just because, say, you have cancer, which can be very devastating to your work a life when you have to deal with that. It is 29 minutes after the hour. We'll be right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
"250 years after our founding, King Charles III stood before Congress and acknowledged the same truth that sparked the Revolution. There are no kings in America. Make your stance clear with the No Kings American Flag lapel pin, a 1-inch by 1-inch American flag pin embedded with our No King symbol. Go to store.politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Get your No Kings lapel pin now."
Well, you know, I used to think my mattress was just furniture until I got my ghost bed. I laid down on my brand new ghost bed for the first time earlier this week, and I thought, oh, this is what good sleep feels like. Because Ghost Bed doesn't just build mattresses like furniture, they build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment, beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I noticed the difference right away. If you're like I used to be, waking up stiff, tossing and turning, sleeping hot maybe, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping maybe tonight will be different, that's not aging. That could be your mattress talking. And here's another thing I love about the Ghost Bed. You get 101 nights to try it at home. Don't have to do that dumb mattress test in the store. If you don't feel the difference, you can send it back. Risk-free. How about that? GhostBed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Stephanie. Use that promo code Stephanie. That is ghostbed.com/Stephanie. Promo code Stephanie.
Hi, and welcome back. Just 964 days left to go in our countdown to liberty. Today, Donald Trump decided he's going to back off his anti-weaponization $1.776 billion potential slush fund for the January 6th insurrectionists after some rare pushback from Republicans, who, after all, were threatened on that day, along with Democrats. Meanwhile, Pete Hegseth, little Pete Hegseth, remember Pete Petey and the Petey Gazette? Well, he's banned reporters from an entire room today in their offices, actually, inside the Pentagon, kind of like what Donald Trump did with the upper press area in the White House, further limiting the access that reporters have to people inside the administration to find out information that is much needed. So much for free press in the United States. Donald Trump has completely destroyed that, reducing us to, I don't know, doing 1-minute recaps of what's going on inside the White House. Yeah. It's always fun, isn't it? Anyway, and finally, in case you don't know, Donald Trump is going to make a MAGA rally for his picnic time on the 4th of July, since all the entertainers have said, screw you, Don, we're not coming. That and much more coming up tomorrow. Peace, love, and catch you next time.
Of course, this is another masterstroke by the president, who's ended multiple conflicts in his term here as president. And I think this is going to be another one that's going to go down in the history books as one of the great peace deals that he's done.
Right.
Nothing has been accomplished.
No, and this is Representative...
Iran walked away from the peace deal from any talks yesterday.
Yes, and they're hitting each other again. This is Representative Riley Moore from West Virginia.
Yeah.
He went on to say, oh my God, look, the president has gotten us to a point in which the secretary just outlined that no one has gotten to in the last 47 years. President Obama would like to have a word.
Yeah.
This is huge. No one has been at this point. Donald is going to have his hand on that dial to be able to turn that up or down in terms of those dollars based on the amount of nuclear dust that we're able to get back from them. So, of course, it's another masterstroke, blah, blah. Notably Iran, by the way, President Obama negotiated a very good deal with Iran that they were complying with. For a very long time. We didn't lose any soldiers.
No.
And Donald is so glib about the 13 people that died.
Yeah, he doesn't give a crap.
I mean, he's like, isn't that amazing? It's like, no. Anybody that dies is bad.
Yeah.
Especially you. Without you, they would still be alive. Today.
You took away a mother's son. You took away a mother's daughter. I mean,
husbands,
right?
All of that. Children lost their parents potentially. I mean, this is just like, dude, there are 13 families out there that don't find this adorable, or isn't that great news? We only lost 13 people. That's 13 too many, because this is a war that we shouldn't even be in the first place. But he was mad at Bibi, apparently.
Yeah, he was. They had a screaming match.
Yeah, Axios is reporting that Donald accused the prime minister of ingratitude and called him crazy. He said that he kept Netanyahu out of jail because, by the way, Netanyahu is very much like Donald. He should be in prison.
Yeah.
Big time. One of the officials summarized the phone call to Axios saying, "You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your..." I can say that, bum. I'm saving your bum.
Ass.
Thank you.
You can say ass.
I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now, he even said. Everybody hates Israel because of this. And then he posted on Troth Central that the call was good. He minimized what they actually said. But he said, he trothed this. He said, I had a conversation with Bibi Netanyahu today asking him not to go to a major raid of Beirut, which they're holding back at the moment, but they're still in southern Lebanon. He said he turned his troops around. Thank you, Bibi. I also had a conversation with representatives of the leaders of Hezbollah, and they agreed to stop shooting at Israel and its soldiers. I doubt he talked to anybody at Hezbollah. I don't think he's talking to people that related to Hezbollah. Likewise, Israel agreed to stop shooting at them. Let's see how long that lasts. Hopefully it will be for eternity. Had you not started this in the first place... And I mean, the joke with the Strait going, he actually said the other day, the Strait's open. No.
No, it's not.
No.
No.
No. No.
It's as closed as it was
2 days
when Iran closed it.
Yeah, I mean, and he's talking about our blockade versus their blockade, and we block them and they block us, and it's like
they own the Strait of Hormuz now.
Yeah, it's theirs, and they didn't have it before. Yeah, they didn't have it before, and now they do, and that's all because of Donald and his stupidity. Jennifer in New York. Hi.
Hi, Jody. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Hi. I'm hanging in there.
Right
and
on.
Chris, it's good to see you. And Bella. You love Bella.
We love Bella.
I just love her. You're awesome. You're awesome. I'd vote for you if you were to run for president. Believe me.
I appreciate that. That's good to know.
First off, I want to talk about you had spoken about Two-Spirited yesterday, and I want to say that Two-Spirited has nothing to do with Y, Z, and all that. Two-Spirited to our people is they are very special and very loving people, because we believe that when a person is born with both spirits, the spirit of a man and the spirit of a woman, they are very special.
Yeah.
And they are revered. They are just so revered and loved. And it wasn't until the colonizers came and didn't understand that, and Christianity came, where it changed it with the indigenous community. And that's the sad part. The good thing about it is that we're starting to come back and understand that Two-Spirited are very special people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I agree.
But the main thing I wanted to the main thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was, do you guys remember Fire Island?
Yeah.
I've never been to Fire Island, but I've heard of it.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
No? Oh, Chris, you would have loved it. Well, back in the 70s, my cousin used to be a ranger there.
Okay.
And I went and spent the weekend. And the one thing that I loved about Fire, I love about gay people, male and female. Females, when they hit on you, if you say, all you have to do is say to them, I'm not gay.
Right.
They like, that happened to me. She said that, I said that to her, and she just looked at me. She snapped her fingers, and she goes, my loss. And then she turned and walked away. Now, a straight man would not do that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Straight man would be
We're a little
like,
pushy.
oh, come on, baby,
Definitely
blah, blah, blah.
Definitely
Gay people don't do that.
No.
The second thing I want to let you know is that was the first time when I was on Fire Island at Cherry Cove. I went to a bar that night. Gay people know how to party. I'm sorry.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know
we
how
do.
to party.
Yes,
Have a
we
great
do.
Time. It was the first time. I am 19 years old. It was the first time I had ever saw black people as gay. I didn't think black people were gay. And all of a sudden I'm looking and there's a crowd of nothing but black people, and they are just black men mainly.
Yep.
And they are just having such a good time. And I was like, oh my God, they were actually black people who are gay.
Yep.
Now, I always knew Native people. We knew who we were, but I had no idea that black people were gay. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's like, gay people, you go for it. I mean, you are the most loving and caring and respectful people that we have. And I'm all for you. I'm an ally, and yeah, I just wanted you guys.
All right,
In fact,
Jennifer, thank you so much.
Here in Los Angeles, we have one of the first black gay discos ever anywhere. It was at Jules Catch One. It's on Pico near Crenshaw.
Oh, okay.
And it's still open. And Jewel just died like a couple of years ago. She opened it in 1971. And it gave black gay people a place to be themselves.
Be safe. And be safe.
Exactly.
That's the important thing, is being safe. Yeah, it was a bad stigma for a while in that community, unfortunately. I mean, it's been a stigma for everybody, but that community, it took a little bit longer.
Yep. I've actually been to Catch One.
Oh, have you?
I have. Yeah.
Bye.
No.
Well, at least she was hit on by a girl.
Yeah, there you go.
What am I, chopped liver? So Donald said this: I don't really care if Iran negotiations are over because they started to get very boring. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was a reporter who asked a question about the stalled negotiations, and he said, I really don't care if they're over because they had started to get bored. It's not boring to stop a war. It's important to stop
Sorry we're boring you. Are we keeping you up, Donald? You wanted this job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is where he said that, okay. The reporter asked Donald what was the way forward and how he expected to get the Strait of Hormuz open. He said, I'd say that there's about now. Well, the strait is already open. No, it's not,
No,
Donald.
it's not.
If you think that all you have to do is take a look at the many boats, their ships, that have gone out there over the last week, you do know that, boats have been leaving, and we have the blockade. We blockade them. They blockaded the strait. Then we blockaded them. And our blockade is a lot tougher than their blockade. As far as I'm concerned, they can continue to lose $500 million a day, which is what they lose because of the blockade. They continue to lose that. They can continue to lose that. People say, that's good, Donnie. That's good what you did there, Donnie. I don't understand people supporting this human being. It makes literally no sense to me that anybody thinks that he's smart.
He's not.
This is a man who, it has been reported, didn't even go to the very nice schools that he got into. He had people go to class for him. He had people take tests for him. So he had an opportunity, a very good opportunity. Because he went to Penn, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Wharton. Yeah.
So he went to a top school in this country, and chose not to take advantage of that. His parents paid for it, so he didn't have to worry about student debt, which is lucky. I was lucky I didn't have to either. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Lucky.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
So
no kidding.
Lucky.
No kidding.
Especially now. Okay.
Oh no, when I went, you'd laugh at how cheap my old school was, but this was 1984.
I
So
don't even want to talk
You went to
about
UOP?
I went to UOP. It was the third most expensive school in the state
Yeah.
at the time.
It's private.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a small school.
Yeah, I went to a private school. And,
Yeah, there were only 4,000 students, including graduate students.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it was very small.
I
at the
got
time.
into USC, couldn't afford it, so went to,
It's very
went to
expensive.
ASU public school.
No.
That's how it went for most people.
Yeah.
That's how it went for my dad as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I mean, I got into the UC system. I didn't get into UCLA, but I got into the system.
Yeah.
But that was my third choice. UOP was my first choice.
Even my guidance counselor was like, "You got into USC?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
Smarty pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. I mean, it just. I'm sorry to cut you off. 'Cause
No, it's
we're
okay.
Getting to a point.
No.
But yeah, education in this country—that's a whole other battle.
Yeah.
I got into a lot of other great options that I could not afford because they didn't give me any financial aid. Period.
Oh wow.
And that it really sucks looking back because I'm in debt anyway.
Yeah.
I should have just gone. Who cares at the end of the day? I mean, I say that now, but
Well, I mean, a friend of mine who I met when I was a freshman, he took meal cards at the cafeteria in the freshman dorm.
Right.
I didn't stay in the freshman dorm. I got lucky. I didn't have to do that. But because he was on financial aid, because he was going to be a dentist. He still is. He is a dentist, a practicing dentist. But he's barely out of his debt now, and he's pushing 60.
yeah.
You know? I mean,
No,
luckily
I'm
he's got a
yeah.
practice and it works, and he's, making a living, but still.
I'm going to be in debt for the rest of my life. That's just how it is because I wanted to get a bachelor's degree. And of course, now that's just expected.
Right.
Everyone's going to get a bachelor's degree. It's the new master's. Or not the new master's. It's the new,
new high school diploma.
New high school diploma. Master's is the new bachelor's.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, and it's funny because people, like, when I was looking for work, they would go, you need a master's for this, but we're only going to pay you $20 an hour. It's like, no, not for a master's degree. I think I'm more qualified for a better salary than that. That's what bothers me. It's like, you're going to pay barely minimum wage for somebody that went that far in school and knows what they're doing and is qualified for the job, but you're only going to pay them $20 an hour?
Yeah.
That's insane to me. It's just, it's rude.
Right. And for as expensive as it is to live, period, now, and you're only getting $20 an hour and you have a master's degree, that's insulting.
Yeah, it is. And they trust me, all these job boards, I mean, for work that a high school graduate could totally do, they require at least a bachelor's, sometimes a master's. And that's like for things that you're going to be trained to do.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous to me, and I don't like it, and I won't do that to people. And also, if you're in your 50s and I need you to work, I'm going to hire you. That's another problem that's happening with people that are out of work. Anybody over the age of 40, it's really hard to find work.
It's so difficult. It's terrible. I know many people who have had the only work they can really get is instructor positions at universities because they have the experience, but they're getting told that they're overqualified to do a job.
I hate that term.
But then I'm getting told I'm underqualified. So because I need an entry level experience to do this entry level position. So what are you looking for? What's the unicorn applicant that you want here? Because someone who's working an entry level job elsewhere, they're not going to apply to another entry level job. They're going to hopefully advance somewhere else or in that same company. So what are you looking for? It's genuinely, I want people to understand how insane the entry-level job market is right now for my peers, for my friends that are graduating, for people who graduated with me. It's terrible right now. We are getting told insane things. It's unbelievable, to be quite frank.
No.
You know, I did everything right. Everyone I know did everything right. Why are we not getting the same opportunities that everybody else was getting at our age?
No, I'm with
insane.
you. Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, the thing with a lot of people in their late 30s into their 50s, they're not going to, they have all this because they want to be paid properly.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason that people don't hire people that have actual experience is because they want to be paid. for their time and their experience and all. And they
well, then don't get into radio.
No kidding. On that note, it is 49 minutes after the hour. This portion of
John, I think of you every day with this news out of Texas and James Tallarico. It is freaking them out. Someone that actually speaks Jesus. Right?
Right? No, it's not. That's not what freaks them out. What freaks them out is that he talks like a normal person.
Yes.
Right.
That's what freaks them out. He might eat kale! You know, they got to call him a creep and a vegan because apparently they couldn't find any crimes or affairs or indictments or impeachments or whistleblower complaints from his own staff or coup attempts to pin on him.
Right.
And it's James Tallarico. He's the sweetest guy in America. He looks like he's 16 years old with the temperament of a 94-year-old Presbyterian librarian. They're not going to make this guy evil. He's like the youth pastor who comes to the elders and explains why Jesus wouldn't like this bill.
Yeah.
I mean, nicest guy.
They're trying to do this thing that they do every time, and they did certainly in 24. Is just the other. That he's other. He's different. He's a freak. He's Tallarico.
It's all going to be gay train whistle, dog whistles now.
Right, and he's not gay. That's what I mean. He's not gay. Yeah. He's not a vegan.
And he's not vegan either. No, and they're not Christian, and they're not patriots. And now the Republican Party that has hated this guy Paxton because he's so. I mean, Donald Trump might be the only politician in America more corrupt than this guy, and now they own him. And here's the thing. I think Tallarico can win this. I think Jasmine Crockett could have beaten this guy. Yeah. But even if this guy does win, then here's what you got. You got a Republican senator who's not going to vote any differently than Cornyn would have. You're going to have the GOP pouring millions, tens of millions of dollars into a state that they should have won without any effort. And most importantly, Ken Paxton would become the really weird-looking face of the Republican Party, and they deserve to have someone that evil as their standard bearer. So either way, but I think Tallarico's got it. He's the calmest guy in the race. That's it.
And a child rapist protector, like the rest of them, Ken Paxton. I mean, I mean, someone said the mental gymnastics you have to go through in Texas to say that Ken Paxton is a better Christian than James Tallarico is really going to be something, right?
I mean, a better anything. Yeah, like this guy. When your own wife publicly humiliates you and says she's dumping you for biblical reasons, when your own aides called the FBI on you because your bribe taking is too sloppy.
Right.
My God. And then we get to cap it all off with this is Trump and Paxton together. We can protect men who rape children. That's it.
And I hate to say, for them, like you were saying, not even a undercurrent, Chris, of homophobia against James Tallarico.
That's top current. Those are white caps.
Who is
it's
not
gay. It's not
gay.
going to be an undercurrent. Yeah, it's going to be surfers. Yeah. It's going to be all over the place.
Right, but I mean, and the ironic thing is the child rapist that he's protecting raped a little boy. 6-year-old boy. Yes.
For 3 years, and it's going to become a very famous story in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Tallarico is going to do what he always does, man. Here's the thing. Tallarico's got that Obama thing, that Buttigieg thing.
Yeah.
Even if you'll pardon the expression, that Kevin Spacey thing, which is, hang on, that as an actor, not as a friend, that he's always able to be the most relaxed person in the room.
Yeah.
He never gets rattled. This is what we
You know
have to
who
take
that is
lessons from.
in the Stephanie Miller universe? Sean Comiskey.
That's Sean Comiskey.
It is. Yeah.
But in fairness, no. Tallarico's not as medicated as Sean Comiskey is. It's more of a natural thing he does. Tallarico was like he was grown in a lab to reassure suburban moms during airport turbulence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the guy is very steady.
I was saying, like we knew if it was Jasmine Crockett, they'd run the same scary black lady, like they did against Kamala. But them trying to other a straight white pastor is really going to be hilarious. I mean,
also think about this. This is the third. This will be the third time. This was the runoff. They already had the primary. How much do you have to hate women that you'll vote for Ken Paxton 3 times in 1 year? My God.
Yeah.
A lot of these folks are not going to come down from the mountains or in from the swamps to vote at all with Mr. Trump on the TV, not on the ballot, especially when they can't afford the gas to vote in the first place.
You said Paxton said he's a threat to our very way of life. I mean, he's a vegan who thinks God is non-binary. And you said as opposed to an impeached, indicted bribe taker who thinks God is a prop. I mean,
look at these two guys. It's like a documentary about 2 alternate timelines for Christianity in this country, right? One of these guys is accused of corruption by his own staff, and the other one, Tallarico, he looks like he volunteers at Habitat for Humanity every weekend, and then he apologizes to folding chairs after he bumps into them. He is like the sweetest guy. They're going to try and make Jimmy Stewart a cartel leader here, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Stephanie. Kevin in DC. Hi.
Hey, hello there.
Hi, baby.
With time, thank you. With time, and I still love that sexy difference between Stephanie's pop culture song voice and your NPR voice. I missed my reverse Oreo sandwich this week, but anyway, between the two of you. But anyway, I just wanted to quickly say, as someone who worked in customer service a big portion of my life, but people often, when something goes wrong, they have a lot of mouth about it, but when you do something right, they kind of just, it's normal, so they don't even think about it. And I've always been vociferous in my praise when someone does something well is when it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the analogy I'm making here. I just want to take a quick moment to thank you guys in general, but thank you specifically since it's your week, and Stephanie. Not too much into it, but I had a bit of bad news and your show today has made it easier to get through. So I just wanted to take the time to thank you guys for that.
Well, I hope you get through all of that, Kevin. You take care of yourself, okay?
Oh, I will. I will only say it's something similar that would happen when I first, if Chris remembers how I stumbled onto the show, I've mentioned when Stephanie lost her mother, how, I had a similar thing. I won't go into it further except to say that.
Big hug from all of us.
Yeah, honey.
Thank you.
All right.
Great show.
All right, thanks, honey. Oh, poor baby. That sucks. That always sucks. Oh, Brooklyn Dad's cat died. Brooklyn Dad Defiant.
Oh, no.
He was only 2.
Oh.
He had an embolism.
Okay.
And apparently it's hereditary, and he's got his cat's niece, I think, and sister, so they're getting them tested. Because hopefully it's something, if they test, unfortunately, positive for it, that there'll be some medications that the cats can take that will prevent something like that. Only 2. Look just like our black cat. Aww. So cute. Poor Sonny. Poor Brooklyn Dad. All right. It is the end of the show for today. We will be back tomorrow with Bob Seska, Malcolm Nance, and Sean Pierce.
That's right.
Yay. And Sean's my partner in the politics book.
That's right.
All right. We'll talk at you guys tomorrow.